Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Miami, Latin VFR's Miami Airport. Scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Back in the PMDG 737-700, which was the first variant, of course, which was released by PMDG almost a year ago now, would you believe? Fast forward to today, and we're looking forward to the 737-900 being released at some point in the near future. In addition to their upcoming 777 at some point in 2023 as well. So really exciting how things have progressed and how we've accelerated in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator since this aircraft was released, in fact. And it does allow you to kind of see how far we've come as well. We're off to Princess Juliana today. TNCM, good old St. Maarten, a favourite going back from years of flight sim, of course. And I'm trying to catch up on all of my pre-flight stuff that I've done really badly at sorting out. So I'm currently hurrying away at various different screens here. As you can see, we're flying CETAN today. You might be thinking, what on earth is that? It's a new subsidiary of FlyUK. For those of you who like to fly with Osprey Airways, you can use the route for that too, of course, but you can't double log, so you've got to fly for either FlyUK or Osprey Airways, but either way, there are a route for either. Peter, welcome. Zato, Rab. Peter's going to be late starting today, but we'll fly the route anyway. Good stuff. Rab's in Chile, Scotland, on pilot to ATC. I reckon you should just connect, Rab. Go for it. Give it a go today. Just follow what we're all saying. I think we're on Unicom anyway. We are. So there's no ATC at the moment, therefore a lot less pressure as well. But if you feel free, you're more than welcome to give it a go today. Make sure you follow the flight plan and stuff and give it a whirl. Mark, maybe we could do a bit of training on Join FS or something for Rab. Shake off the nerves with a group of mates. That's not too bad either as a bit of an idea, to be fair. Hello to you and Fritz, Hazza, welcome. Mark, lots of green in the live chat. I am trying to catch up. Lieutenant Riot, hello buddy. We got Hazza, Fritz, Joey Goofy, David A, good morning. Alberto in Chile, Zato, welcome. You might notice now, Zato, the website has changed. I've got a specific X-Plane livery section and one for MSFS liveries for Osprey Airways too. Akari, welcome. He's on the A340-600. I assume that is you mounting the terminal, if that's the case. Dan, good afternoon as well. Birdman, God, loads of members in the live chat today. It's fantastic. Great to see you all here today. So we're loading with GSX. It's a wicked livery, isn't it? It's pretty cool. It's a cool sign that they've designated for use on VATSIM, etc. is Skyhawk. Not too far dissimilar from Skyways, which is FlyUK's main call sign, of course, but it does look pretty cool, doesn't it? Beautiful shade of green. Look at that reflecting off the sun as well. Really, really cool. Mathis enjoying the livery, welcome. Carlito, howdy. So, it's about 3 and a bit hours flight time today in the 737-700. We've whacked the cost index up to 60, I believe. Might be 80. I'm not actually sure what gate we're at either. I'm hoping this will tell us. Delta 23. Let's dive in. I'll write that down as well. Delta 23. We're off to TNCM. Boeing 737-700. And we need an altimeter setting as well. Let's clear that because the doors and stuff are open as well. Dial, hello. Meta, KMIA. All the home deliveries. Yeah, what a rush that was yesterday. He almost drove off. Altimeter 3011 inches of mercury. Let's get that tuned. Lovely high pressure today. Let's get that set as well. Radio, let's turn the panel lights up. Pop the APU, the engine bleeds off, we don't need that. We can run the APU to start now as well. And then down here we can tune to 122.8 to listen to those sultry sounds of Unicom. Gate Delta 24. I'm just going to wiggle the rudders a little bit. KMIA to TNCM. CETAN 274. Performance in it. I am playing big time catch up here. What were we running on? 08 right, was it?
Miami traffic, Osprey 04 Foxtrot, taxiing to runway 8 right, holding point Mike 2 in November, Yankee 1.
That'll be a yes.
Miami traffic.
Right, so I need weights and things like that. Planned takeoff weight is 61. .70 fuel weight. Eh. Oh well, that'll do. FinRes plus alternate fuel is 27, so 2.7 tons. Cost index of 60. Cruise is going to be flight level 350. And average winds along the way 318 degrees at 23 knots. Fairly mild for that upper limit. Very swish. Insufficient fuel. Oh, I know why, potentially. FS actions. Yeah, fuel. 9425. 61.3 tons. That's a bit better. So flaps 5, D rate 43, and we're running a takeoff 22k, takeoff profile 1. Might as well we'll do climb 2, flap 5, run the centre of gravity 5.59. Zero 8 right. Ladder 2. Via VATSIM. That'll do. And then Yankee 290 to Sluggo. That's all good. V speeds are in. 136 gives 146, adding the 10. We need a runway heading for 08 right of 092 in the box. We'll get back to the live chat in just a wee-mo. Navigraph so you guys can see what's going to happen. So we're going to taxi all the way down to 08 right, take off straight out onto the Cladder 2. So after about a mile, we're going to turn right 124 degrees to Jamba, Kabola, Cladder, and then away to Bitak, so Medley, then Bitak. Top altitude of 5,000, so we can tune that in the MCP. But very quickly we'll continue to climb up. And it's an RNAV departure, so I'm not going to worry about retuning anything else in the box just yet. Keeps life simple. Aluba 1, yeah, that's probably usually the arrival there. Oz Flight Sim, welcome aboard. How are you? Hope you're well. And Ohio in Recife, Brazil. Good morning to you from over the other side of the world. Beautiful Brazil. Welcome.
Miami traffic, Osprey 784, pushing back from
so, init ref, N1.
South.
Takeoff page is done with the V-speeds input. We can leave that for now. We're going to make sure the APU generators are on. While we're up here, let's put the fuel tanks on as well. Center tanks have got 1.63 tons in. $1,000, we'll go for 1,000 as well, like so. We'll leave the rest of it. That will be fine. Climb. Cruise. Descent. Legs. Winds request. So it's basically using GPS. instead of retuning and tracking VORs and stuff, we could find, for example, the Miami VOR, and that would be fine. That would work. 3500, and then we are pretty much 0 actually, so that works out quite nicely. We can run the APU to bleed, and the yaw damper needs to go on up here. Check the system pages there. APU generating. We'll put the probe heats on for now as well for pushback. Seatbelts. Stratocast, welcome on board, buddy. Joining us as a new channel member. Great to have you with us. We can be really posh as well. We can change this to 274. Look at that. Love it. Go old school with the use of the flight number selection on the yoke. Oh yes, flight level 350.
Osprey here for Foxtrot, lining up on runway 8 right, waiting for the boarding traffic. Osprey there.
Okay, so GSX. Prepare for pushback.
Miami traffic, Osprey 490, reporting 8 left on that latitude departure. Miami traffic.
So Cladder 2, 08 right, Cladder 2, Delta 23, so we're going to push and start facing on the compass west. Miami traffic, Skyhawk 274 at Delta 23, altimeter 3011, push and start facing west. Miami traffic. Without GSX, pushback is so buggy, Rama says. Yes, Miami actually has, and TNCM too, actually, to be fair. They have custom profiles, which is really nice.
Correction, that is west. American 1843.
You know what we can do?
Departure checks completed.
Park brake is on, let's remove the chocks. The Edge, hello to you, welcome, love what you do. That's always great to hear, thank you very much. Got a question for us. If been told to descend to 8,000 from 18,000 and maintain 280 knots, when passing 10,000, do you maintain 280 until told differently or slow to 250? I would personally, at 10,000, slow to 250 knots. I would assume most controllers will work on the assumption that at 10,000 you're going to decelerate.
Airborne. Passing 2,000.
Ooh, let's make sure I've got Skytrack sorted. Yes.
Release parking brakes.
Park brakes off.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Let's get rid of the music. APU bleed is good, they're all off and running nicely. Let's check the rest. Anti-collision lights. And ignition mode ground. Let's go. Run up the engines. Dan says, which options turn on the hood in the PMDG? When I use a FlyUK livery I have it, but I've not been able to find it in the settings to enable it on other flights. Yeah, it's inside the FMS. Remind me, if you want us to have a little wee look after departure, we'll have a little look once we've calmed things down towards cruise. But it's a setting in here effectively. It's in fact I can show you here while we're running up the engines. PMDG setup, the option, no, aircraft, equipment. HGS installed, yes. So if you want it on, turn yes, turn it to yes. If not, turn it to no. Okay, let's continue. That's done, that's done, that's good. Let's run that. Into bubbly jubbly. Need me taxi charts. Oh my goodness. It's going to be the first CETAN collision.
Set parking brake. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Let's give it the thumbs up. Keep forgetting I've got flow.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Interesting. It's a really long push, isn't it? It's a custom profile for it though, which is quite cool. 1 and 2. That's good. Probes are on. Whack the circulation onto the engines. Pumps.
Unlocking gear.
Gen. Off. LNAV. VNAV. Auto thrust. System page. Fully right on the stick. Back to central.
Tow truck
Fully
disconnected.
left.
Bypass pin
Back
removed.
to central. All the way back.
Left
Back to
is clear.
central.
Right is clear.
All the way forwards. Back to central. We'll do lap 5. Auto brake is confirmed at RTO. Rudder trim's neutral. And we will check the engines. They look good. We'll clear the bottom page like so.
Miami traffic, Osprey 784 coming out of 18, taxiing
good.
to Mike 1 for runway 28.
I just want to take a screenshot.
Victor,
There's the weirdest stuff
Papa.
going on. Oh, I love it.
Miami traffic.
Trim wheel adjustment, yes. We did that just prior to push. And the V-speeds are all checked, so let's get our page ready to go. So we're going to go contrast
Miami
delta,
traffic,
so we're going to go November.
1843 taxiing to runway 8 right via November. Mike 6. Mike holding point, Mike 1. Miami traffic.
Miami traffic, Skyhawk 274 is following the American Airlines A320 in front to hold point Mike 1, runway 08 right, Miami. Good afternoon, commentator, and Matthew, good morning. There is our first screenshot of today. Forgot how small the 737-700 is. We'll get Flo's system tools up as well, so let's fire those up ready so you can now see the bottom left control visualizer. While that is going on, I'm going to get rid of QATL because we don't need that running. Do a quick warning recall.
Miami traffic. Pan Am 423 is pushing back of Echo 21.
Miami traffic, American 945, pushing back from Delta 16.
Flash, that's interesting. See, mine stays on all the time, which is a little bit annoying at times. Sometimes you can find that it does suck away at performance a little bit, so I tend to make a point of, and it is recommended by GSX as well, to actually go into those settings and turn it off in the system tray, so right click and click exit. Oh, that's Zeus Arto, the American A300. Automated good morning, beautiful weather in Miami, isn't it? So Justin is asking a good question there as well, saying, is the 600 same as the 700 in terms of setup? I assume your custom views will not work in the 700 for the 600. Yeah, you're correct there. Setup is the same, but you've got to bear in mind it's a lot lighter, and therefore its V-speeds and its handling is different as well. So you look at this 737-800 in comparison to the 737-600, and there's a difference in inertia because the aircraft is smaller. So it takes less effort for the airflow to change around the aircraft, basically. So if you pitch forwards, pitch down, there's less inertia in a 600, so therefore it will react quicker to your inputs. Yeah, Zato. So we're hoping to get a DC3 retro livery for Osprey painted. We have got a BBJ2 based on the 737-800. We've got that on its way as well. Damo Designs is painting that for us. First Osprey executive aircraft in the fleet. And then we're going to be working at trying to clear away a lot of the backlog that we have for various liveries. And if there's any that have broken as well, we'll be looking to try and fix those too. Right, V-speeds, everything else is checked. That is all set and done. Good evening, William, as well in Thailand. Hello, welcome. I know that there's quite a few of you guys that watch in Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong. So I am going to be trying to do, I'll try and do another early stream as well in the near future to kind of accommodate you guys a little bit better. Yes, Piper Arrow, Matthew. Mine, the one I painted was broken, so yeah, that is as well in the plans. And Mad Dog MD82 livery 2. Flash, no idea, to be honest. It's a good question though. It's a very good question. I'm not sure. Jacob, planning for runway 10 approach over the beach. Cornelius, welcome buddy. Joining us as a silver frequent flyer. Great to have you on board with us. Thanks to new channel members today. It's great to see you guys choose to join. If you are looking to, you know what, let's use this one. Miami traffic, Skyhawk 274 via Mike 1 lining up runway 08 right. Probably NDB, Jacob, or well, I tend to hand fly, that sort of thing. We'll see. If you're a new channel member, make sure you link your YouTube account into Discord so you get access into our club lounge as well. A dedicated little members area inside Discord where we discuss all sorts of stuff, including upcoming streams and videos. Ease up. We just need to give it a wee minute. The only thing is with flow, it does get in the way of all your screenshots, so you have to then proactively go ahead and close it, get rid of it before you can then go in. So he's airborne. We need, because we're all flying the same route, we need a couple of minutes basically separation between us all.
Traffic, American 1843, airborne 1300, climbing to
Andy, yes, CETAN, the new code share division.
Jamba, final call for man.
We had a bit of contact from FlyUK the other day, and I've been doing it as well, because Osprey isn't technically a proper virtual airline, at least I didn't think it was classed as one. Turns out it is. but we were double logging the flights, which is obviously not allowed in FlyUK's division. So because of that, I'm logging the flight with FlyUK today, but I'm not logging it under Osprey, so it's not going to appear in our Osprey operations section of our Discord server. Miami traffic, Skyhawk 274 is taking off runway 08 right, Clara 2 departure Miami. Let's get rid of those brakes. Yeah, so in response to that, Matthew, actually what I've done is I've resubmitted a request to VATSIM. Weird, wrong keybind. Let's focus on takeoff. Yeah, so I've resubmitted the application to VATSIM to have it officially recognised as a virtual airline, and we're working on basically sorting out the fleet and sorting out the routes. So I've neatened up a lot of the routes now as well. You will see over 520 routes, I believe, inside Osprey Airways' route network.
Miami traffic, Golf Oscar Sierra Papa Yankee crossing runway
Positive
08 right at Mike 2.
We could just follow the flight directors down here. We can hand fly this first bit if we really want to, as we did the other day as well. It's something that actually is nice to do every now and again, so I can highly recommend it. But we still have to deal with the aeroplane. So I'm hand flying in the turn whilst turning a lot of stuff off, and we're being ever so gradual with these inputs here too.
Vacated.
Just staring at the primary flight display, going through our flap retraction speeds, and now I'll go CMDA engage with wings level, and the plane's got the controls. Jack, hello buddy, welcome. Alberto, yes, actually, I wanted your input with that actually. I wanted you to send me, or if you had chance, if you wanted to at least, send me a number of different routes that you would like to see into and out of Santiago, and we will make it work, and we'll add them to the route list too. Why not? We need a South American hub. Santiago, I think, would be a good one. The Apple God, welcome. Beautiful Miami below. Yeah, Alberto, sure. That works, if it works for you. Only if you're happy to, of course. I thought I'd get your input. You're our original Chilean channel member. Let's see, we'll try and get some juicy screenshots as we depart. What we can do is keep the climb up.
Miami traffic, Golf Oscar Sierra Papa Yankee taking off runway 08 left, VFR to the south.
Jack, no worries at all, buddy. God, these blips are all over the place today, aren't they, from Microsoft Flight Simulator's system tooltip menu thing. Mike Oliver, loving the scenery. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I do like Miami, to be fair. We don't fly into and out of here often enough. Mark, loving the scheme, saying it suits the 737-700. Chris Aviation, welcome to you. Tuning in for the first time. If you're new, welcome. Anything for the African continent, Carlito? I'm slowly building it. So I've got Heathrow to Johannesburg, and then I've got Johannesburg to Cape Town and back. And another one as well. But again, if you're inside our Discord server, the members lounge section, Carlito, put some suggestions in there and I can work at adding them in, to be fair, if that's something you would like to see. Each one has to be manually input, so it does take a little while, but if you guys have got the suggestions, then I'll work away at putting them in. Depot Dolphins. have you seen the new Latin VFR A318? I have, but again, it's one of those things that I don't really get the point of, to be totally honest. Verinda Singh, welcome on board. It's it's odd, isn't it? Because it's no different to what Captain Sim did, but they got slated and Latin VFR was being kind of celebrated a little bit. Yeah, I don't really understand it, to be honest. Actually, that's a good one. Johannesburg to St. Helena. Good afternoon, Brian, with his supercomputer. Jack, getting distracted. Thanks, buddy. So it's about 3 and a bit out, or it's about 3 hours total block time, I think, gate to gate, off the top of my head. Air time is around 2 hours 30, takeoff to landing for this route today. True, there is that Oz Flight Simulator saying Captain Sim's the first. It's now accepted more now. Is it accepted more now? I think people are just... It's just become a thing, hasn't it? Where someone will just create a nice looking model and a crappy inside brain, and then that'll be it. And then they release it and sell it and people buy it, scoop it up. I guess for people flying on Xbox, it's their way of getting default systems and more accurate aircraft. Or whatever, maybe not more accurate aircraft, but a variety of other... My goodness. No idea where he is. Not that a pilot can do that in real life, but we've... I had no idea who that was. Okay, now we've actually got TCAS. And it's actually now escaping into max rate of climb. Look, TCAS is actually active because we are in conflict with him. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? It's good. Okay, that's good, good, good. Yeah, it's given people on Xbox a variety of aircraft, hasn't it? Which is quite nice. But us on PC, I think it's not great at all. Hazard's going like max zoom. He's got nitrous in his Jet A1 today. To be fair, it could be compounded by the fact, Hazard, that I stuck at 5,000 for a little while. Nice, Jack. That's epic. Congratulations on the race starting in April as well. Oh, he's so quick. I don't know where he's gone. Andy says not me in the Dark Star. Cool, let's get that range back up now anyway. Paul's loving the CETAN livery. It's a nice refresh, isn't it? It's something that's certainly a heck of a lot better than Metro Air, which I always thought was a bit of a poopy livery. It wasn't that nice, to be honest. It wasn't that exciting, but this looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Look at that. And as somebody said earlier on in the chat, the 737-700 does suit this quite nicely. Yeah, it's crazy, Dan, isn't it? Huge difference, Jack. Yeah, in length, quite a few meters in it. Oh, Hazard, check your flight plan. Make sure you've got a flight plan filed. That's you up ahead. Through transition. So we've got a lovely little route across the Caribbean today. I can show you on Navigraph again, but we'll take a little peek at Valanta too. And that's our current location on the star. That is the route for today. Zipping north of Cuba, the Dominican Republic and all that sort of stuff. We're pretty much hugging the Bahamas all the way down over the Turks and Caicos Islands, beautiful part of the world, and then we're going to head out towards Princess Juliana like so, which is quite cool. We can look at 2 arrivals. Aluba 1 is pretty much the only one that we're basically going to use, I think, via Sluggo, but the transition will be via Aluba, I believe, which is that waypoint right there, because the approaches, we've got Arnav, so probably won't even be doing the star. Our routing from dock was just Sluggo and then direct to the approach, which will be basically direct to Avaki, lesser map on, and then and fly the last little bit in. We could do a VOR if we wanted to be a bit posh, make it a little bit tricky for ourselves perhaps, but there's no transition from Sluggo with those, I don't think, at least not what I can see anyway. Not sure what that one is in relation to though. Yeah, there's no transition from Sluggo with that one. So yeah, Arnav 10 will be what we'll set up for. Sluggo, Avaki, and then straight in. Keep it simple. Oh, Paul, nice. Flying Glasgow to Keflavik in the 737-800 FlyUK Atlantic Crossing Tour. Why didn't I fly the 737 sooner? You've resisted all this time, have you, Paul? You will never look back now. It's awesome. Look at the colours on the water. Let's see. I'll try and find a... Can't really see that well, that bit. All my custom views are a little bit messed up today. They have got a custom cabin, CETAN, as you can see. Oh, that explains the super zoom as a sim rate was enabled. We could probably put this approach in actually. We don't want the star, we'll just put Arnav 10 via Sluggo. That is it. Execute. So we can go all the way to Sluggo, Avaki, and then inbound for the approach. Job done. Simple, simple. No star. Wrong channel, Jeff. Got an 18 knot tailwind ourselves with the ground speed. So Rab's ground speed's 513 knots. Ours is currently 462 knots. You on live weather, Rab? Madness. Valanta. We've not checked that out yet. So we go out of Miami. Still got a lot of departures actually as well. Cool. Yeah, so Peter, we've got 2 departures left basically out of Miami. Osprey 784, represent. Carlito, he's airborne away from the bay now. Euro 9241. us. Hazza, CETAN 274 as well. Zato American 1843 in the A300. Osprey 804 Fritz is well ahead actually, my goodness, he's miles ahead. As is David, Osprey 490. And you can see here, probably more so than we did on Navigraph, we can see our routing for today. I'm just going to upload some of these screenshots from today as well. So, passing just south of Nassau, through the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Port Nelson, Cockburn, San Salvador Airport, Pittstown, all these different little airports here. There's the Turks and Caicos, Cockburn Harbour. Ooh, that screenshot has the beacon reflecting on it. So Cockburn Town, just north of that, the Turks and Caicos. We're going to fly a little bit further south, brushing past the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Just before we hit the coast of Puerto Rico and San Juan, we're going to head due east effectively over the British Virgin Islands down to St. Maarten for that approach. And I'm going to work at adding in our screenshots over the next few minutes, but it does take a little while because there are server issues with anything over 1080p screenshots apparently. Cruise flight level 350 has it for me. Zato's got some screenshots in Volanta, as does Hazza. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Just working at sorting them out. First, we have a master caution for fuel. That's the centre tanks there being empty. Good, good, good. That's fine. Let's turn those off. Look at that. We've got Hazza's contrails. Let's see if I can get them in a really cool screenshot with Bahamas in there as well, maybe. Let's see. You have to literally upload one screenshot at a time at the moment for anything over 1080p, because otherwise the server basically has a fit and doesn't like it. I have got landing rate monitor connected today. I'm actually tracking it as a personal flight, so it doesn't go against Osprey Airways, but that means we get the pop-up still for our landing rating when we arrive in Princess Juliana. We got the tropical beats actually work really nicely at this particular route today. There's the screenshots anyway, so let's find Hazza's screenshots. So there's Hazza, we click on him. Should load up the screens. Oh, there we go. I can see one Hazza, that's epic, look at that. That's what I tried to get a screenshot of and failed miserably at. That's a really nice screenshot. And Zato's got some as well. We can see what his aircraft actually looks like. No, that's Hazza still. You haven't uploaded any yet, have you? Zato. But anyway, we can see what it should look like. The top left, that old school retro jet with a metal livery. That's what Zato's actually flying in today. Fritz, see if he's uploaded any screenshots. No. Awesome. Image though for that placement holder for the aircraft. Captain Sim Pilot, good morning. Thank you very much. Wishing us a safe flight. RNLIB in Cornwall, good morning as well. Sorry, I did see you message earlier on. Alberto's just sent us the inaugural routes for Osprey Airways' South American hub via Discord. Epic. Sato, remind me in a few minutes. We'll have another wee look to see if we can spot it in the server. Look at that. My goodness. if you guys don't fly around the Caribbean enough, I don't either. You forget how stunning it is from above. That's insane. Looks like the servers are being funny. Hazard's got 8 screenshots on his. Well, failing that, we'll stick it all in Discord. I don't know, Dan. I noticed I said it earlier and I thought, why did I say that? And then I've carried on saying it, apparently. I'm actually wearing a kilt. You guys can't see that. It's, I've become honorarily Scottish for the day. God, look at that down below. It's just simply incredible. How cool is that? It's one of those parts of the world that you must explore regularly because you forget how stunning it is. Oh yes, Matthew. Yeah, we should have diverted via Barbados to go and have a look at the the Concorde that we ditched there many months ago. Brits, how's the Boeing seat treating you from Next Level Racing? Mine's still working really nicely. It only did one flight, Joey, indeed. Straight to the Barbados, into a museum. I think it was the sim update not long after that broke it, wasn't it? So that's what became a bit of a problem. Oh yeah, you should have your yaw damper on, unless you're hand flying the whole thing. Look at that contrail there. That's epic. I do love FSLTL's contrails are pretty cool now, aren't they? Automated says DC Designs are supposed to update it this year with INS. I think that's probably the time we'll revisit it. Isn't there somebody else that is creating one for MSFS as well? All that cloud building in below, typical Caribbean style. There'll be a massive rainstorm later, or a hurricane. Dan, yeah, we haven't looked at the Heavy Division 787 for quite some time, have we? But we enjoyed it when we were flying it last. There's just been so much going on, and I've ended up getting sucked into the whole world of PMDG that I kind of enjoy this more than anything else at the moment. So it's quite nice. And I'm not sure if there's been much progress to the Heavy Division mod, to be fair, since we last flew it. I'm sure there probably has been quite a bit. KMIA, the developer, was doing some great work. There's an aircraft over there somewhere as well. Oh, hello. Where did he go? Well, those contrails disappeared really quickly, didn't they? Zata says, what the heck? Someone's going 2 times on the sim rate. Is that Hazard again? Brit's saying his Next Level Racing Boeing seat is absolutely awesome. Super happy I got it. Butt kicker is working good with it too. I still haven't ordered the butt kicker, to be honest. Not yet, anyway. It sounds like you've got a keybind, Hazard, that's clashing and creating your sim rate to increase to 2 times. Richard, good morning. Very good, thank you. I hope you're well. By the way, on Saturday we're going to be streaming probably Amsterdam Overload, one of their massive events. On the VATSIM network, so we're going to be having a little look at that and taking part in that, flying out of Amsterdam or into Amsterdam. I don't think we've quite yet decided yet, but I think we might fly Osprey Airways for that one. Why not? We'll just pick a route. We can fly into or out of Amsterdam for that. It'll be quite good. It's going to be full ATC basically at what is quite a complex and very busy airport. And they've got weird rules at Amsterdam, so after departure you don't wait to be told to change to their departure or director or whatever else they're called. So you don't change from tower. You don't wait to be told by tower to change to the departure frequency. You just automatically change once airborne and call them up, and then they take over basically. Rich, very nice. Paul says the Heavy Division GitHub says there was some APU fixes 2 months ago. Is that all? Dan's been enjoying the Salty 747 as well. You see, that's another one we've neglected. I think it was getting to the point where these projects were slowing down and stalling a little bit, and I just kind of moved away from them a little while because there wasn't as much progress as I would have hoped for. Mark says, can you see me on Volanta? I'm heading Miami to Key West. Let's find out. And the other guys are saying there's some screenshots now that should be able to be seen. Yes, there we go. There's TBS in his DC-3. He's off the Key West. Beautiful route actually, all the way down that coast. Flying the road by the looks of it. That's really cool. Loads of screenshots actually. So we've got Hazza, Zato there as well. Oh, look at that. We've got Hazza and myself as well in those contrails behind Zato. Jakera XT as well. Lovely screenshot. I always forget to actually click like on these. Fritz, let's click Fritz and see if we can see his screenshots. Still no. Weird. I think the servers are just struggling at the moment on Volanta again. They're going through a bit of a weird one. Oh, I have a screenshot to upload. Yeah, Dan, factor in 4 hours taxi for the Polderbahn at Amsterdam. We could do something like Heathrow, Amsterdam, Heathrow with Osprey. And that could be quite cool. 2 little sectors, but into and out of the chaos. So a bit of a double whammy. That could be quite fun. Jack suggesting Amsterdam to Dalaman. Jeff did the visual circling approach into Cusco, Peru yesterday. Epic, and I smashed hard. Have we done Cusco? I don't think we have. Commentator only picked up the PMDG 737-800 a couple of days ago. Got the 700 on release, but almost exclusively flown the Fenix since then. My goodness. Great to be back in a Boeing though. Just need that universal flight tablet, which is coming soon, by the sounds of it. How are you finding it, commentator? Are you loving the fact you've gone for the 737-800 now? It is, in my opinion, the best. Zato, we need to organise a flight to Cusco then, don't we? Absolutely. Hopefully there's some good scenery. Richard, have a great day, buddy. Taking your cousin out for a little flight. Very nice. Very jealous. Tiny little airstrip down there. That is... Hawk's Nest Airport, apparently. No, hold on. Stand by. Norman's K Airport, Mike Yankee Echo November. Lovely. Lima, Peru to Cusco, return back. Nice. Have I checked out the newly released Memphis scenery? Dan is asking. That was by AmSim and Beautiful Model of the World as a partnership thing again. I haven't, no. It does sound quite cool though, doesn't it? It does look nice, and Memphis is one of those airports that was missing for some highly detailed scenery. Commenter says, yep, love it. I'm a sucker for world ops, so the 800 is much better suited, as great as the 700 is, yeah. And it just adds that little bit more of a careful dynamic needed on takeoff and landing, don't you, to prevent those tail strikes and everything else. Wally is going on a cruise from Miami to St. Martin in April. You know what? Keep forgetting to add Mark as a moderator. There we go. Promotion. Have the spanner. Spanner of justice. Like Tim Sim, hello. It's only got the 700 from the PMDG 737NG range for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but loves it. That's all that matters. If you're loving what you've got, that is all that matters. Dan, that's a question we were asked the other week. I don't know the answer to it. I think they are still around. I just don't know where they are and what they're actually doing these days, to be honest. My goodness, Fritz, that sounds complicated. 8 inches of snow in your driveway. I've got none here. I had a beautiful crisp morning this morning for a nice dog walk. We were expecting snow, we had yellow warnings and things like that, but it never came. Flash, very nice. Due for a new set of controls before you do any serious flying on VATSIM with the old X52 for Flash giving up the ghost. What are you thinking of getting? The Turtle Beach Velocity 1 yoke has been really, really good for me, actually. It's been very reliable and quite enjoyable to use, easy to set up, but I do kind of still wish I had a Honeycomb, Alpha Bravo Charlie, that sort of thing. I think that is the ultimate that everybody looks for, isn't it? David, hello, saying, when they add the Universal Flight Tablet, the EFB, they're calling it the Universal Flight Tablet, I might be tempted to buy an 800 or 900, but for now I've got the 700. Spend all your time in the Fenix. Weird. How come you guys are spending more time in the Fenix than the Boeing 737? There's a question I want to put to you guys. What draws you to that the most? Surely it's not just the fact it's got a tablet, right? Because I can't see myself using the tablet all that much. Dan, yeah, I was hoping that we would see a few more Mako sceneries, to be honest, as well. I was hoping for maybe like a Mako Simulations East Midlands and that sort of thing. I think the last update from Mako was that there is going to be a Manchester Airport scenery being an update being worked on. Don't really know how it's all going to work though, to be honest. We haven't heard much from them, to be fair. So Joey's only been flying the 737-800 since release. Gary's asking, do we know when the next newbie flight on VATSIM is? That is this Saturday, I believe. Um, 7 o'clock Zulu UK time. I can't remember the routing, but it's on VATSIM website. First Wings event. Gary, so do take a little look at that. Any builds, they're not doing in East Midlands, I don't think, Brian, but Pyreek Devco is almost ready to release his East Midlands Airport scenery. Yeah, Fritz, I use VAS Airplane Toolbox, my PMDG stuff as well. I think that's probably why I don't really care about having no EFB. Just means that I've got to do a little bit more setup, but that's fine because it's making me think more with my flight planning and things. Commentator says personally for him the Fenix CFB is so good that the lack of one entirely in the PMDG left a rather large gap for me. My goodness. It feels much more fluid with it in terms of getting Metar's charts, loading, etc. Fair enough. See, for me, I've never been that phased by it. I know it's coming, and that's good. That's all that matters for me. It's going to arrive at some point in the future. Rab's just on approach to Stella Maris. Don't know where that is. Sounds exotic. Yes, Paul, that's it. EGNX, East Midlands, Nottingham. That part of the world. Pretty much mainly for cargo and Ryanair, really. But back in the days, for those of you like historic ops as well, Britannia Air 2000, they flew out of East Midlands as well. David's saying, are all the bugs with GSX fixed up yet? I heard a lot of grief when it launched, but it's been quiet lately. It's been updated quite a bit recently. It's stabilised quite nicely as well. I think the main thing with GSX is ensuring that you have got custom profiles. So if you go to flightsim.to and you click other, right at the very bottom there's a section for GSX profiles. Have a little look in there for all the airports you fly into and out of the most. So Miami and St. Maarten today both have custom profiles for them. As do thousands of other airports across the flight sim world, and because of that it enhances the GSX brain quite a lot actually, and you will find that 9 times out of 10 it's absolutely fine, which is quite cool. Joey, of course, we're neglecting the right hand side today, it seems. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, the profiles are the key to GSX. Without it, it kind of tries to guess and detect where the taxi lines are and things like that, and it's 50-50 as to whether or not it gets it wrong or not. But yeah, the custom profiles are absolutely mandatory. Zato was asking about the Quality Wings 787. No idea. We haven't heard anything for ages, so have they gone? Probably. I suspect that they're the ones that have approached PMDG about trying to do the 787. Dan saying that East Midlands is a huge Jet 2 hub and TUI. Bit of reminiscing from Mark as well, the boys Smythe, yeah, that's it. Britannia from Stansted and Monarch from Luton for him. It was always Britannia for me. 99% of the time Britannia. Out of Birmingham, always. And then we did a couple of flights Air 2000 out of East Midlands, which became First Choice Airways, which became Thompson Airways and all that sort of stuff. Oi oi Sledge, welcome. Bit of CETAN ops today indeed. New FlyUK US division. It's a stunning livery. Chris is saying we'll be buying the PMDG 737 this weekend. Not sure if I should go for the 700 or the 800. Is it a matter of personal preference, or have you got any suggestions? So for me, out of the two, hands down, if I was to choose one or the other, it would be most definitely the 737-800. The question there though is going to be, when the 900 releases, are you going to want that? You know what, my drone camera views are all a little bit messed up today, aren't they? Let me try and do something about that. That should do for now. For me, as others are saying, out of the two, I'd go for the 800, Chris. Especially if you like the real world ops and everything as well. You're getting a little bit more flexibility out of real routes. You've got the extra dynamic of the tail strike to think about on rotation and stuff like that as well. That's too nice. Failing that, you've always got Osprey. Seems we're not allowed to double log anymore. AO says, can anyone tell me if Microsoft Flight Simulator has finished with the updates? No, we've got many more years of updates left to go, to be honest. They've guaranteed to support it for at least, was it, well, 9 or 8 more years. So many updates. It is becoming a truly exceptional simulator, isn't it? Music. CETAN. It is on my mind by PMDG to prepare a 777 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I need it for long-haul contracts. You'll be pleased to know it is coming at some point this year. Carlito's got his finger ready to go for the 900. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? 32 exactly, but the thing is, the catalyst to that yesterday was it yesterday that we got told that we can't double log with Osprey? FlyUK see Osprey Airways as a virtual airline effectively, because we use a FS Hub landing rate monitor, and it's accruing flight hours and in a logbook sort of thing. Because of that, they see it as a virtual airline. So due to that, I've actually resubmitted the application for Osprey Airways to become an official VATSIM virtual airline. So I've re-spruced, just tweaked and moved things around on the website, and I've now got, in lieu of Tapsi and his Microsoft Flight Simulator being completely broken, we've got new livery artists jacked up, ready to go as well. Mark, it's on the X-Plane forum, Bass Airplane Toolbox. But if you're on Discord, head into Discord, and one of us, I'm sure, can just send it over to you, or put it on a Google Drive for you to download. It's no different. And then you can just get on and get using it. Gary's got the 700, the 737-700 from PMDG, but wished he waited for the 800. Yeah, British Midlands, that's the one that crashed. It was on the M1, wasn't it? A BMI, British Midlands, 737-300 was it? Jack, nice. Have you seen, Jack, the Osprey Executive paint scheme that we've got in the works at the moment? Adam says, love your dedication to entertainment and education. Thanks, you're more than welcome. It's you guys that keep me energized, keep me loving what I do, and the content that we create as well, and the fact that you guys take part either in the live chat really actively. It's always great to see that ticking along really nicely with a nice active chat. And you know, people are active in our Discord server, they're enjoying Osprey Airways, and they're flying along on our streams, and it makes it really, really fun. Jack, nice. Yeah, check it out. It's in our Discord members lounge. You can see the initial kind of render for it. That's the one, the 737-400. I was close. Oh, good grief, Brian. And I bet back then he was offered zero support with what he had to deal with. Mind you, it's not much different now, probably. Andrew, so I've seen it linked, I haven't watched it. I get most of my details, to be honest, from the PMDG forum. I just get it straight from that. But yeah, apparently it was quite a good little video. Some people said that it didn't really cover that much, topic-wise, anything meaty, but always nice to see Robert Randazzo chatting away. Nice to learn a little bit more, as you're saying. He's an interesting guy. Interesting to sort of learn a bit more about the guy himself. Jack, it looks pretty executive, doesn't it? Rab, yeah, almost a mega disaster at JFK the other day. My goodness. David, That's a good question. I'm going to say yes. I'll ask Damo to create one for that as well. I'm looking at getting the Mad Dog. What was the list I sent him? Let me read out the list of things that I sent him. This is the backlog basically. Because Tapsy would usually be painting all of our liveries, but he's not had chance because of his sim. He's basically deleted MSFS because it's not working properly. This is what I've asked Damo to do. He paints, by the way, custom liveries via Fiverr as well for a fee. You can get your own custom liveries created by Damo, and he makes some incredible liveries, like the Jet 2 737-800 liveries that we've enjoyed quite a few times on the channel. Yes, I've asked the BBJ for this 737-800 Boeing business jet, the Mad Dog. I want the H145 and H135 helicopters spruced back up again. The King Air, I want to paint for the King Air. The DC-3 with the retro paint, similar to the DC-6 that we've got. That's the kind of list that I've got at the moment. And I think one of the CRJ liveries needs painting and fixing as well, doesn't it? It might be broken, I'm not sure. So we're working on it. We're working on it. Damo's going to be tinkering away over the weekend in the hangar. Yeah, it was that it was expletives, wasn't it, Flash? But it was just at 2 seconds when he realised how bad it was about to become, and he got away with it perfectly. David, nice one. We'll try and refix that then. What's his name on Fiverr? Damie ENG 547. DAMIENG 547. If that means anything. Or what I could do actually is I could just type in the share link for whoever it was that was asking for. So Adam was asking about custom liveries from Damo. I'll type his link. Fiverr.com into the live chat. So you can click it and it will take you to his page directly, if that's something that you would like. IKE5. Miss Transgender, hello, welcome. There you go. What they need, Flash, is a Navigraph Ultimate subscription with map overlay. Could you imagine? Oh, I do have Skytrack running, yes. And I've given a little wave over to Damo Designs as well. Hazza, that's really weird. Does anyone else know why a sim rate would automatically increase? It's got to be keybind related, surely. Thirsty2, they could do. We'll kind of tinker it and just see what happens, really. Jack, nice. What are you going to get? Oh, Flash. Yes, that's a good point, actually. Was it the cruise menu thing? Was it in here? Auto cruise? Make sure you're not clicking that, Hazza. Andrew, not sure, actually. Oh, yes. one of these increases the sim rate, doesn't it? Is it these buttons here? Yeah, I never touched it myself. Oh, so, yeah, the TC and SR. There you go. That's the sim rate. Oh, yes, it's this little button here. So that increases, that decreases, if you can see the little arrow. No, I knew it was somewhere, but I never knew it was there, so it's great that actually this has come up in conversation in the chat now, because that's where the little sim rate changer is. So if you accidentally click that, then it means that you're going to increase or decrease the sim rate. As Flash is saying, up arrow sets it to 4 times sim rate, turns the text green to indicate that it's active, the down arrow resets it to 1 times again. And I just thought he was playing with a clock. There's suddenly a Concorde. Yeah, I would probably do something like that actually in the 737-900 when it releases. I might do like an Iceland Air Heathrow to Keflavik or something like that. That would be quite nice. Vino is in 400-ish miles. That's going to be the edge of Puerto Rico. Look at that. I mean, the water almost looks like glass, doesn't it? Wesley, hello, buddy. An event's full so far, Wesley. Always nice. Thank you to everybody who's hit the like button so far as well. If you haven't yet tickled it at some point, do give us a little thumbs up. Crab's just over Mayagana and it's stunning. Where were you flying to or from then, Wesley? Your flight, was it flight into Gatwick or out of Gatwick? Heads up display as well, that works. It's something I never really used, to be honest. I know some people love the the heads up display being involved. Gatwick to Leipzig, very nice. Which says you should use it during landing. I find it's more of a distraction. It gets in the way, so I kind of ignore it. And I find that it ends up really wrecking my landings because I focus too much on all of the gumph on the display than actually what's going on with the aeroplane. I get it massively distracted, basically. Fly New York, hello, welcome. Do you know where you can find the minimum approach speed for an ILS approach on a chart? Well, there's not really a minimum approach speed, but the typical rule is 160 knots until 4 PME, basically. And then you can reduce to your final approach speed, whatever that might be, because of the it's very aircraft dependent, effectively. Apparently, we've got Oh my goodness, look at that for a convoy. That is awesome. Hazza, I think you might have slowed your sim rate down. Just check your sim rate. Because you're over Port Nelson at the moment. We've actually started to catch Fritz and David up as well. David's leading the pack, Osprey 490. Oh, Hazza, you ended the flight. Gutted. Peter had a lovely cruise holiday this part of the world. Very nice. Critic, not really a group flight, but every flight we do, if you're confident on VATSIM, then you're always welcome to join us basically and fly along and join the pack. Ew, Yoep, welcome. Are you, actually Yoep, are you taking part in the Amsterdam Overload event on Saturday? If you are, we might be flying into and out of, / into or out of Amsterdam during that event. Jack, yeah. Carlito, I get speed brake, do not arm when setting to RTO. Any guidance? Is that in this 737? Because auto brake you want to set RTO. But this, you never want to arm that for takeoff. So you just leave it retracted. Ah, yeah, nice. I was thinking maybe Amsterdam, Heathrow. So depart Heathrow, go to Amsterdam, and then turn around and fly back, perhaps? What do you think? Rab, so inside your user settings, for your Discord user settings, you want to click integrations, and then you want to be able to, like, go into that and add your YouTube account. So you click the little YouTube button, and it will then link your YouTube into Discord, and then you should see Club Lounge inside our Discord server. That's the members only section. Yeah, in the Boeings you don't arm the speed brake for takeoff, basically. If you do, you get the takeoff configuration warning go off, as Carlito is getting. It'll be a full-on flight, Jack. It's going to be epic, though. I think maybe the inaugural Heathrow Amsterdam route for Osprey Airways, maybe. Music, I'm sure you probably would be able to, yeah. Almost halfway. Has anyone tried the new Amsterdam freeware scenery for FlightSim.to or from FlightSim.to? There's it requires the brick-by-brick design freeware, plus a few other bits in the dependencies, but there's a new one basically. Andrew, yeah, you make a good point as well. We've not been to Japan, Australia, New Zealand for a little while. I'm kind of holding on New Zealand. I'm holding off, waiting for the Australia New Zealand World Update. Sorry, the New Zealand World Update. I'm waiting to see what comes from that, really. I'm expecting there to be an Asobo handcrafted Christchurch, made probably by NZA Simulations and sold to Microsoft and Asobo. I would imagine that's kind of what we're going to see and expect, so that'd be quite cool. And I think on that update we'll then go and explore parts of New Zealand in the 737 or whatever aircraft we choose at the time. Yeah, we're overdue visits to that side of the world for sure. Longitude update is looking nice, Automator says. Is that the one that's included in Microsoft Flight Simulator? I confess I don't really fly, my god, look at that. Don't really fly private jets, the executive jets, too much. One thing I've noticed is nice with Flow is the fact that it's actually properly got rid of the overlay. So now I don't get the little thing popping up in the way of the screenshots anymore. Space Ghost Seater, welcome on board. TBS, nice. Find you on Volanta. Were you flying just VORs, were you? I haven't put any screenshots on Volanta. Nice work, TBS. How's Tony, by the way, Mark? I haven't heard from him for a little while. I hope he's okay. Rich, I've left it on for a transition period at the moment because I'm pretty rubbish at remembering stuff. I've got in like I'm basically like a pigeon. I'm a human version of a pigeon. My habit is to go up here for everything, so I'm getting used to not doing that very slowly. Chris, Heyo was asking about the, unless I've missed it. Where is it? What's the difference between the 700 and the 800? Length and weight, basically, and the size of the fuel tanks. So the 800 can fly, I think, a little bit further, carry more passengers, more cargo. Good stuff. I've not heard from him for a little while, so I was thinking about him the other day, actually, wondering if he was all right or not. But good to hear he's okay. Arajet 738. Never heard of them either, Hazard, to be honest. Yeah, the 800 is more slippery, a little bit more inertia as well, so if you pull back on the stick in flight, say for example you're on approach and you pull back slightly on the stick, it just takes a little while longer to get that inertia to affect the changes you're trying to make. Captain Pigeon, that will not be a nickname. Brad, did you sort out the integration? If not, after the stream I'll try and help you. Bit difficult during stream. Alberto, thank you buddy. I've just seen those routes. They look awesome. Lots of routes, my goodness. Critic says a controller's allowed to ask for Discord to contact personally just because I was from the same origin as his. I shared it, then he said to call me, I just ignored. That just sounded a little bit odd, but it depends on the VAC as well. I can't imagine VATSIM UK allowing that sort of thing, but I suppose as long as they're being polite, friendly, courteous, etc., and if you then don't want to have contact anymore, they then leave you alone, I think that's probably okay. But again, if you don't want contact from that person, just either block them or ask for them to contact you via the chat function on vPilot directly and not via Discord. TBS, let's have a little look. I think maybe the servers are struggling a wee bit today. That is an epic gravy train of pilots. No, I can't see any from you. Mind you, you had a picture up here earlier as well, so... Yeah, can't see any. I need to fix the Piper livery hazard. It's really broken. I don't know how to fix it. It's missing a door basically. It's got like half the side of the aircraft is cut open. I have no idea how to fix it. Mark, oh, you've sorted the VAS airplane toolbox. Thanks. Oh, good stuff. I was going to get it sent after the stream, if not. For Volanta, is there a shortcut to open it in flight? Looks like a useful tool. I would imagine with Flow, you could probably set a script for it to automatically load Volanta maybe by clicking it. I'm not sure. Oh, Mark, good stuff. So it was there all along. That's nice. Look at that. Hello. That is fantastic. Who'd have thought we would have a flight sim that looks as good as this does? Although it's rendering in bits there, weirdly enough. Kevin, hello buddy, good morning. So, oh, it's a good question. We'll talk about it again, I guess. So we were flying with, say for example, we were flying a FlyUK flight the other week, and I was logging it on Skytrack, but I was also logging it on Osprey Airways under landing rate monitor because it's not an official VA as such. It's more of us all having a bit of a laugh and enjoying Osprey Airways, its liveries, its routes, that sort of thing, and competing with landing rates, etc. But FlyUK have said that needs to stop because it goes against their double logging policy, which is understandable. Something that I'd kind of overlooked. Naively thought it would be okay. So FlyUK see Osprey Airways as a virtual airline because of the way that it's structured, and because of that, I've actually sent off yesterday the official request to VATSIM again to have it recognised as a virtual airline properly. So we'll see what happens with that. Because of that, I've spent a little while dusting off and fixing all of the Osprey Airways routes, and revamping the website a little bit with the Osprey's Airways section, splitting the MSFS liveries with the X-plane liveries into separate pages, just to make it easier to find, that sort of thing. So effectively they you can't fly, so we're flying CETAN today with FlyUK, we can't log that on landing rate monitor in addition to flying for Osprey, if that makes sense. Critic, he can't ban you for not giving a Discord. If anything, that goes against the policy. Like, he's going against the policies of VATSIM. If you're not sure about something, Critic, or something seems really odd, then you could always .wallop and go through a supervisor, or maybe even if you're on the VATSIM Discord server, use that as well to try and have a discussion about it openly rather than privately. They certainly can't give you a temporary ban or anything like that for not being talked to on VATSIM or something. That's a bit weird. Yeah, David, I think that's because Walker is a little bit like Osprey in the sense that it's a bit more casual and a bit more forgiving with that sort of stuff. So, Mark, yeah. As Juliet Charlie Mike is saying, you can use landing rate monitor as a private flight load. So today we're flying on Skytrack, we're flying FlyUK and their CETAN division. I've got landing rate monitor fired up as a private flight, so it means that we can still log. We get that pop up with our landing rating and things like that. It logs against my own logbook and not that of Osprey. Kevin, yeah, have a look. There's over 520 routes that we've got for Osprey. Loads in the States, expanding all the time. If you've got routes that you'd like, you can pop them into the members lounge in Discord. If you're in our Discord server, pop them in and we'll add them up. We'll add them in as well. It's everybody's virtual airline basically, so if you've got routes that you like to fly that you find are missing from the route network of Osprey, let us know and we'll just put them in. Doesn't take too much time to sort out. Takes about a minute per route if I'm on my PC. And we've got some of the best liveries and the best call sign in the VATSIM network as well. Turks and Caicos Islands down below. Somewhere I'd love to visit one day. It's meant to be particularly spectacular. Oh, Doorman, yeah, of course you are. Cheers. I got such a terrible brain recently. Andrew, 100%. Imagine what it'd be like in 4K as well. I'd love to be able to do that one day. And the best mechanics. Absolutely Fritz. Boeing and Airbus hate us because we've taken the entire global stock levels of landing gear and brakes from their entire supply chain. But we need them. We go through about 6 landing gear a week. MPS Gaming, good evening. It's snowing for you, very nice. Oh my goodness. You see, I was going to make the dive basically and go purchase an upgrade to my PC, Kevin, as we were discussing in Discord the other day, but then I smashed my phone, as you guys know, and basically had to buy a new one. Cost of £1,000 on a credit card, so the computer upgrade is going to have to be cast out into the distance now, a little bit further. It is, Jack. Bottomless maintenance budget as well, and you get bottomless brunch too. Andy, well, I broke it at work, getting changed in a rush, basically, because I realised the time of a flight had come in a lot earlier, and I needed to go to speak to somebody. effectively. Oh yeah, back in the early days setting up the Discord, Mark. My goodness. Dan, yeah. Even though ours is a bit more casual and it's a bit of fun, it still goes against their double logging policy. So if you're going to fly FlyUK, you can only log it via Skytrack. Even if you put, like I usually do, even if you put the FlyUK call sign and the route into LRM, so it shows in Osprey operations as a UKV flight, or today CETAN flight, it's still not allowed. Yes, it's a no-no from them. If you were, as you're asking there, today's flight could be flown with an Osprey livery using BVX and tracked with landing rate monitor, no issue. Yeah, correct. But also, I'm not too fussed about the livery. So you can still fly, say, an American Airlines livery or whatever else and log it under Osprey. That, I can't see it being a problem either, because it's a lot more casual in that sense. Ideally, it would be an Osprey livery and an Osprey call sign being logged, but we can be flexible at Osprey. Sometimes we might need a bit of help from American Airlines, for example, or British Airways to fly a route for us because we're too busy. Amazon Prime Cargo, 73800 cargo as well. Sometimes our Osprey World cargo fleet is maxed out, so we have to use a different livery. That's how we get around it. Mike Oliver, what are the main benefits of being recognised as an official VA by VATSIM? Basically, they will push out some air traffic control groups globally will use their database of virtual airlines to feed their call sign data into their different client software they use for the radars and things like that. So effectively, it means that we would be recognised, and the Osprey call sign would be recognised wide, even wider around the world, which would be quite cool. Exactly, Doc. So those of you who love to fly with real call signs and real liveries and real types, aircraft types, you can still log your flight under Osprey and still take part in the Osprey community, if that makes sense. That's the kind of reason behind it, anyway. Jack, nice. Be interested to see what you come up with. Nerds asking, will there be Osprey Airways liveries for the Project Megapack A321 and A330? Not at the time being, no, not for the time being. It's a little bit... I don't know, I'm still not convinced by Project Megapack. I remember how they left the community a year and a bit ago, and the level of sort of toxicity aimed at certain people, and I didn't like watching that, so I still don't use it, basically. Fritz is asking a good question. How did Osprey and the BVX call sign come about for Osprey Airways? We put it to a community vote inside our Discord members lounge at the time, and we went digging around. We had a couple of different options. We had Osprey, Midland, there were 4 or 5 different call sign options, and there were 3 or 4 different ICAO call sign designators as well, BVX being one of them, and that's the one we went with in the end. I'm sure some of you might remember that from back in the day, when we were trying to come up with the call sign that we're going to use and things like that. And then it became Osprey Airways because Osprey was voted on as well. So we were using, do you remember the original British Avgeek A320 for the fly-by-wire A32NX? We were using that and then running the Osprey call sign after a little while. David remembers, there we go. He did, yeah. Went down to the local council, got it put up on the notice board next to all the wedding notifications. Good grief, Dan. Maybe they're a fan. Whereas he says if he wasn't flying A350 operators all the time, he would fly Osprey. You're still flying and logging it via LRM though, Wesley, right? Good work, nerd. Keep it up. Paul says, just landed and not able to taxi under the throttle. Which aircraft? And yeah, you're still a wee frequent flyer, Doc. ATC online. Oh, it is San Juan Center. 11815. If you're watching, thank you. Uh, 11815. Hopefully everybody's got flight plans filed.
Still go. Osprey 492.
Fair enough, TBS. One day will pull you to the dark side. Nerd, always one world. It's certainly in real life. Apparently there's another VA called Osprey based out of Miami. That's interesting. I'd like to think we would be there first. We were there first, I'm sure. Very odd. Yeah, hello to you, welcome. San Juan Center, good afternoon. Skyhawk 274, flight level 350, inbound Calto. Have a good night, Flight Simmer. Skyhawk 274.
Skyhawk 274, San Juan Center, squawk inbound.
We'll go squawk ident, Skyhawk 274. So I had to press the ident button.
Skyhawk 274, call you back when you get closer to my airport.
Center Osprey 804 Foxtrot with you at flight level 370.
I have to change my audio settings. Brian, we use FS Hub.
On the squawk for Osprey 804
FSHub.io. All the information's on the website. Have a great night, Flight Simmer. Thanks for tuning in.
American 1843 at 350.
Man, that's really weird. Really weird. Didn't know. Oh yeah, we've called him early. Whoops.
Control Daitaro 9725. Good evening.
So we've only got.
With you, flight level clear climb 190. Direct Charlie Hotel.
I'll show you where he is controlling anyway. So at Calto, that's where we enter his airspace. So I was a little bit keen. We're only 80 miles though, so I thought it would have been. We just about got away with it.
Tower 9725 heavy radar contact, walk 3650.
Oh, I googled Osprey Airways. Oh yeah, there's another one. Oh, it's for Geo Flight Sim though, isn't it? Geo FS, whatever that is. Isn't that for mobile phones?
1571 heavy, sunwell center, report when you're ready for climb. And you see the 1571 heavy, run that 8 taxi via Hotel Alpha, sunwell altimeter is 3014.
Oh, there you go, GeoFS, it's a free browser-based flight sim. That's where that comes from then, Dan. Yes, Matt Botcrick. The Judge Judy of the FlyUK world. Water brakes off, Paul says. Have you burst a tyre, Paul, perhaps? I know that is one of the failures. It makes it very difficult to taxi if you have burst your tyres.
Osprey 804 Foxtrot, proceed direct to
So looking at VAS Airplane Toolbox, thinking ahead to the arrival into Princess Juliana in about an hour or so, maybe just over an hour from now. Planned landing weight is going to be 55.1 tonnes. We're going to use both reversers and flat 30 for the approach, and it's then suggesting therefore that we use auto brake 3 to stop with 744 metres of runway length left, or we could use auto brake 2 and pretty much use the whole thing. So tempted to use auto brake 2, but it is amber, so we'll go for the green option, auto brake 3, and then use manual brakes if we need to. Now there is going to be a backtrack required here, so we're going to have to make sure all of our spacing equates to about 4 minutes separation if we can. If we can pull that off, folks. Flying behind, so be early at sorting out the spacing if we can. Absolutely, Fennec. Yeah, Max, very, very helpful. A lot of the FlyUK team are exceptionally helpful guys. Yeah, Brian. Well, we've got 600 liveries, and I'll be adding some 900 liveries as well ASAP once the aircraft has been released. I'm to turn him right up. Can't hear him.
After departure with me, block 1064.
Little top of descent marker up there. What we could do is pull in the descent data.
Yes, 1571 has reback is correct. So when 0707, runway 852.
Oh, neither. I don't like football, nerd. How's that for an answer? I prefer rugby or NFL. To be honest, I think both of them aren't particularly decent guys. They're very talented, but I think they're pretty awful human beings. Basically. Still clinging on, Mark. It used to be Osprey 2310.
9725.
It's 9725, heavy, go ahead.
Request flight level 370, direct Kilo Echo Kilo Alpha.
9725, heavy, climb and maintain flight level 350 for traffic. Tower 9725, heavy, climb and maintain flight level 350 for traffic.
Yeah, I forgot we do have scenery for Princess Juliana indeed. My goodness, it's loud.
Tower 98725, flight level 370 is unavailable.
Yeah, we've got the Asobo
traffic for now.
TNCM
Climb
scenery,
and
which is
maintain
quite nice.
flight level 350.
Yeah, true. I don't like the whole. Was it Messi that bit somebody, and Ronaldo just thinks he is better than anyone else on earth? I can't stand that.
Climb level 350 due to traffic.
There's no
Once you get
humility
past the
with them.
traffic, I'll give you
That's kind of what I'm probably trying to explain. Not doing a great job of it. Fly says, how much of a commitment is it for joining FlyUK? There is a minimum amount of flying you need to do. Yes, Hi-Fi. You need to do one flight a month, basically logged on their Skytrack system.
Climb and maintain flight level 360.
Oh, Suarez was the nibbler. Yeah, see, that to me should have been, that's the end of your career. Gone, bye-bye. No matter how good you are, whatever else, but apparently he can carry on. I don't really get it. 1 a month is okay, High Flyer says, would you recommend it? It brings a nice element to... your sort of sim experience, so you can
1843 heavy squawk.
You can have a little dig around the FlyUK route network, and they've got routes like this, Miami to Princess Juliana with their new CETAN.
Skyhawk 274, squawk 1446.
Squawk 1446, Skyhawk 274.
American 1843 heavy radar contact 6 miles northwest of Calso at flight level 350. After Calso, proceed direct Slugo.
After Calto direct Sugo, American 1843.
And American 1843 heavy, same up number?
Zidane, yeah, the head butter.
0.79, American 1843.
Exactly, Mark. That's what I like.
San Juan Center, Osprey 784, flight level 350, inbound Calto.
Osprey 784, San Juan Center, squawk 89.
Yeah, some great routes from CETAN now. And you can take part in the FlyUK tours as well.
274, radar contact 10 miles northwest of Calso, flight level 350, Houston Mach 477 for intro spacing into Juliana.
Roger Wilco, reduce speed, Mach 77 for spacing, Skyhawk 274. So he's now spacing us into St. Martin with
Osprey 784, call you back when you get closer to my airspace.
with Zato in the American A300, I think, or A310 at the front. Yeah, 1 flight a month isn't that much of a commitment, to be fair. Going back onto High Fly's question about would you recommend it and is there a minimum requirement, 1 flight a month is absolutely fine.
9725, maintain climb level 370.
There's a lot of route options. The Highland Tour and the UK Cities Tour, that sort of thing as well, in smaller jets are really good. The thing you've got to bear in mind, High Flyer, is when you start with, for example, FlyUK Virtual Airlines, what you end up doing is you start in a Class E rank, which allows you to fly the CRJs or the Cessna Grand Caravan, I think for the MSFS related aircraft, and the Twin Otter as well. You have to then build your hours up to be promoted through Class E First Officer, Class E Captain, then to Class D, which then begins to unlock some of the other aircraft like the A320, I believe, and I think the 737-700, but it might not be Class D, it might be Class C, I forget. And then as you build up your hours and you work all the way through the ranks, then you end up moving all the way up to Class A, which allows you to do long hauls in the 787-10 in MSFS, that sort of thing. And then ATP, which is the ultimate rank.
274, proceed direct Slugo.
Proceed direct Slugo, Skyhawk 274. Zip. Big old shortcut. Spinner left. There we go, Fennec. Thank you, buddy. You know, you're a little bit more well rehearsed with me. And as Jack is saying, it doesn't take that long to work through the ranks. When I started with FlyUK, what I did is I enjoyed a lot of tours around New Zealand in the caravan, in the Cessna Grand Caravan, touring around Mount Cook, Queenstown, that sort of thing, and it was actually really quite nice. And you've got a really nice appreciation for how stunning some of the scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator is. But you know, the CRJ is an option. You can smash out some routes out of, say, Birmingham, and within 3 or 4 different flights, you've upgraded to Class D already. Boom, you're there. And then you've unlocked the 737 and the A320s. Kodiak, yeah, I don't have the Kodiak still, so I do forget that's an option. We've got an ATIS for Princess Juliana. Nice stuff, Fritz. Andy's fixed his frame rate issue. Found FSLTL traffic was causing a massive frame rate drop. Was that the injector or was it just the AI? Good work, Jack. Brian's approaching 2,100 hours with FlyUK. My goodness, that's very good. As I did the UK tour as Class C, exploring the UK. That was really nice. Oh, the injection. Interesting. Yeah, I've not tried that myself. Flyer, I haven't, no. Check your sim brief is linked in properly, and make sure as well that you've got a proper profile installed. If the profile, the custom profile for example, hasn't been coded correctly, passengers can board a lot quicker than you're supposed to. Let's have a little look at Navigraph again. So we've been given direct Sluggo. Oh, High Flyer, so you have to delete the custom profile for the new Heathrow version 3 because it doesn't work unless it's been updated since it was released, since we last had a look. But at least last week I had to remove the custom profile because it was broken with version 3. The developer said very broken, in fact, so you've got to remove it, and that might be the catalyst to fixing it. So Sluggo, direct to Avaki, and then we're going to expect the RNAV approach, runway 10. I don't want Aluba. Sluggo, add to route. So it's going to look like that. Sluggo direct to the approach at Avaki, basically. Down here, where it's got CDFA on the charts, it means it's added in 50 feet for go around. So a lot of them around the States and stuff, if they don't have CDFA, you've got to add 50 feet extra to your minimums, which allows you time to spool the engines up, change your pitch to a positive pitch, and get climbing away for the go around. If it has CDFA already written on there, then you're all good. You don't need to worry about that. There is a little 1 next to the thing though. It's a 1 and a 2. Can't see what they are actually related for though. 1. Okay, that's fine. I'm not using that. So our minimums for today are 770 feet, because I can't find what 2 relates to, but 1 is up here. That's not relevant to our flight today, or the ANG NDB. Let me have a little dig around on the charts here. I mean, there's no additional charts for us. Oh, sorry, there we go. My goodness, read the charts, Luke. So 1L nav, missed approach restricted to a maximum of 205 knots until established direct on bed. 2 is VNAV decision height in lieu of MDA, depends on operator policy. Alright, so we could do 700 then, minimums. That's fine. That is for us. We just need to bear in mind that speed restriction should we go around because of the terrain and everything else we've got to avoid too. So we're going to intercept a vacuum at 2,600 feet, step down to 1,700 by lessor, and from there we're 5 miles to touchdown, 096 degrees for the inbound track, 3 degree rated descent to map on, which is the missed approach point, and then autopilot, auto thrust comes off to hand fly the final bit into touchdown at Princess Juliana. The missed approach data at the top is there, so climbing right turn to 4,000 feet, direct on bed, then hold or as directed by ATC. And there is a hold at Avaki as well. If we get put into the hold there, if it's really busy, if we end up bunched up a little bit, the controller might put us in that hold at Avaki, in which case we have to configure for a 4 nautical mile hold, outbound 275, inbound 095 over the Avaki RNAV waypoint there. We always have to think about arrivals as well, because certainly for here we have to backtrack, so always look for your exit point. Runway 10, we're probably going to touch down just before the Bravo hold point there, taxiway. Roughly around about there, I'd imagine, is where the touchdown zone is. So running there, we're going to probably find that we'll decelerate around this little turning point here, halfway in the runway. If we overshoot that, then we have to continue all the way down to the end of the runway, turn back, and then rush back to vacate, probably Charlie or Delta, to get then into the main. To get to the main terminal building. Hence why we need to all separate from each other, and the controller's getting ahead of that already. Happy days. So we put the Delta, the data in.
Sonoma Center, Osprey 784, go ahead.
Osprey 784, squawk 1483.
1483, Osprey 784.
700, airport elevation is 14 feet, that's good. We'll leave the pressurization panel at the top set to 0. We ran the figures and we went for auto brake 3. We can set that now if we want to. And we were looking at planned landing weight of 55.1. And flap 30. We have an ATIS for... No, I want it up here. It's supposed to track where your eye is, from what I've read. There we go. So, TNCM. This is the ATIS for Princess Juliana. So it's ATIS Information Alpha at 1400 Zulu. Winds 100 degrees at 8 knots, variable between 080 degrees and 140 degrees. All the 9s, scattered cloud 1800 feet. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, dew point plus 21 degrees Celsius. QNH 1021.
Good morning, flight level,
and RNAV and visual approach in use. We could fly a visual approach. Chris and his wife have been to St. Maarten on the French side a few times when we lived on St. Croix. Very nice. St. Croix or St. Cross? The US Virgin Islands. Yes, I've actually done the Pilots of the Caribbean tour, Mark, the Boy Smythe. It is very nice. On FlyUK. Oliver's doing a 6-hour, 45-minute flight today. How's your flight going? Mine is going well. What route are you doing and how's yours going? Paul says the FlyUK ATP captains are very handsome. I'll remind you of that when I get promoted to ATP then. 1021, isn't it?
Osprey 4990, Atlas discretion cross Lugo at and maintain flight level 110250 now.
Pilot's discretion down to 1000.
Not GSX tattooed bacon, the parallel flow, but I think now you have to actually click somewhere where your mouse is. It kind of, yeah,
804 Foxtrot, same for you.
definitely misinterpreted what they said on the website.
And maintain flight level 11025 right now.
250 knots at level 1000 at Zulu for Australia 04 Foxtrot.
Damn straight, Mark. They'll be a lot more handsome when you get upgraded. Fly, so the Asobo Princess Juliana is really good. I would say for anybody who's looking at purchasing the scenery for Princess Juliana, you don't need to anymore. The Asobo put it into the 40th anniversary update and have made a really nice scenery. It's pretty cool. Fenix's got almost, well, just over 700 hours with FlyUK now. That's good work. Hazza put some screenshots out of Santo Domingo on Volanta.
Good afternoon, Dominican 2230, 5529
There's our little shortcut.
Dominican 2.
So taking this massive corner out. Ah, there's Hazza.
5214, Dominican 2230.
Arajet. Wonder if that'll show up on Volanta. Yeah, I can't see any others though. Weird.
Dominican 2230, contact 35 miles west of Miller.
Have a good one, Fennec.
294, climb maintain flight level 350.
Level 350, Dominican 2230.
ETA says Hergy. It should be at the top of your screen. I can't see it though.
American 1945, squawk 1464, 1464.
Yap of God is asking how do you fly an RNAV approach. There's probably a good thing that's worth discussing. I don't think I touched upon very much. So this is an LNAV only RNAV approach, which means we have to deal with the descent element ourselves. That vertical profile is down to us, so we'll use something like flight path angle or vertical speed mode, that sort of thing, to control the descent down to minimums. So for this particular approach, we would leave it in LNAV mode, and the aircraft would deal with the LNAV element. And then we would fly the descent using vertical speed, probably. That's probably what I would choose, so I can have a little bit more input, is precise inputs to vertical speeds and things like that. If it was an LNAV and a VNAV approach, then you could fly it using approach mode. 12610. This is FlyUK making sure I'm still near the keyboard. That's something to bear in mind as well. You've got to make sure that you don't go away from the keyboard for too long with your FlyUK flights, because otherwise it will stop logging your flight basically. Gives you a nudge like that, and if you forget in 5 minutes it would give you another nudge before then it drops. Cruise relief, Andy. Explain for everyone what cruise relief is. I think I've forgotten what that means. Commentator, a bit of a tricky one, I don't really know. It's quite tough actually to get all of that sorted out using the SDKs. Gaia has said they've been making Stansted for months and months, so, and I'm not convinced that it's coming anytime soon, because I'd like to have thought we would have had it by now, and we still haven't heard anything from Gaia about any of that. So, Simul Aero, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing, buddy, and welcome. Good morning to you in Brazil. I've got 2 pilots actually. I've got Flash and Yair flying for Osprey. Sorry guys, it requires manual approval, so there we go. Both of them are done. Andy, I did not know that was a thing. That's good to know. So you can use cruise relief with FlyUK. Use it on the really long overnight flights. Basically tracks your flight, but you don't have "Are you at your keyboard?" checks every 2 hours. However, you don't get the hours while cruise relief is on, interestingly. So, okay, so if we were to turn cruise relief on now until top of descent, we would lose 30 minutes of flight time in our log. Makes sense. It stops people abusing it, isn't it? Because it's the sort of thing you would ordinarily then just turn on and walk away from your computer for a few hours otherwise. The argument there would be you're not flying the aircraft. You're on cruise relief and they're sleeping. That's what it's designed for. You've got your, in theory, it'd be the other pilot flying the aircraft while you're on crew rest. Therefore, you wouldn't get the points. Makes sense. Yeah, that's another option. Doc's saying for the LNAV approach, we could go all the way down to minimum and just let VNAV handle it on its way down. That's an easier way of doing it. "100 miles to top descent." We've already gone through quite a few of these checks already, to be fair. We've already got our destination weather, we put our arrival data in, so we've got our V-speeds, minimum, and our local QNH at Princess Juliana. We can have a little look at other things as well, so...
GPS 1571 has the Miami offline weather service terminating frequency can defeat.
There is a VOR at Princess Juliana, which I might tune in anyway, 1130.
American 1945, reduce the Mach 47 for intro.
And I'm going to put a course of 096.
Can you repeat for American 945?
American 1945, reduce the Mach 0.77 for intro spacing into Juliana.
Reduce the Mach decimal 77, American 1945.
That's about it, really. Keep smashing those likes, folks. Over 100 watching, 66 likes so far. I hope you are enjoying today's live stream. Good work, Mark. Love it. BNAF almost crashed me into Toncontin yesterday, Carlito says. You've got to really watch it. God, the cruise relief everyone's talking about is part of FlyUK's Skytrack system. So you could basically put cruise relief on, a little button on their Skytrack software, and it pauses the log until you turn it off, so then you can fly long overnight, long haul flights and things like that. Fritz wants to know how many pilots we have in the Osprey fleet. I think it was nearly 300. 296, Fritz. Pretty cool. Exactly, commentator, which is why I'm not convinced it's coming anytime soon, because we're in 2023 now, aren't we? I think they got sidelined and wooed by the money from Asobo in creating a lot of these free sceneries that were created and added into various world updates and things. I think they've kind of taken that money and gone, "Oh, brilliant!" rubbed their hands and kind of stepped away from their roadmap, which is a bit of a disappointment. Stansted was one we were all really looking forward to, but having said that, perhaps it's something we could push another developer into creating. You know, Pari Devco or someone else. Mark Smith, it's using FS Hub. Andy, thankfully not. Well, actually, for overnights, it depends what you're doing. I'll end it there. My goodness. Okay, latest update information. Bravo into not Tong Content, into Princess Juliana. 110 degrees at 9 knots for the wind now, variable between 070 degrees and 140 degrees. Scattered cloud at 1,800. Temperatures 28, dew point 21. QNH 1021. Dan says the freeway Stansted is a very good option in the meantime, to be fair. It is, but there are significant issues with the way the levelling and the terrain mapping and everything is at that Stansted. We flew there a little while ago, didn't we, out of Stansted on a route. My 737 fell into the big ditch, and I really struggled to get back out again. I had to move around on GSX, different stands, till I found one that the aeroplane could actually settle in, which was a mess. Ergy, maybe Stansted's one for you. Wink. At the moment, if you could pick only 3 payware airport sceneries in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which would you pick? My goodness, that's a tough question.
American 1843.
Skyhawk 274 lost discretion cross Lugo at and maintain flight level 110-210 knots.
Descend at discretion, maintain flight level 110 and 210 knots at Sligo, Skyhawk 274. Yeah, that's a tough question, Hergy. If you could only pick 3 payware airport sceneries in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which would you pick? Aerosoft Brussels, Fly Tampa Athens, and Innie Builds Heathrow version 3, perhaps? So 210, flight level 110 at Sligo at 210. So we're going to put that in as a new constraint. Let's move the top of descent a little bit.
Tower 9725, New York offline radar service terminated. Clock 2000, frequency change approved.
Az is absolutely pinning the engines on the 738 to catch up. Brian's going for Brussels, Innsbruck and Heathrow. Nice choices. Mark's gone for Manchester. Mark's gone for Edinburgh. Doc says it's easy. Oslo, Kitila and Alicante, made by Hergy in the chat, are all so good it should be payware sceneries. Fly Tampa Vegas, that's a good shout actually. A couple of people mentioning that. Dan's going for top 3 payware for him right now. Fly Tampa Vegas, Innie Builds Heathrow version 3 and Aerosoft Brussels. Brian, there's an incredible freeware Oslo created by Hergy1234 in the chat. It's on flysim.to and it's freeware. Oh, actually Hergy, I was going to ask you, the Osprey Airways gate that we have at Oslo, what was the route for that? On the board. I want to make sure that is actually a route on the network.
Osprey 784, maintain Mach 0.78.
Maintain Mach 0.78, Osprey 784.
Heathrow gate 48, perfect. I'm pretty sure that is a route. I'm not sure, Dan. I used the Just Sim Helsinki myself.
Osprey 04 Foxtrot, expect the RNAV approach after Slugo direct of VATSIM.
Expect RNAV 10 for Osprey 04 Foxtrot.
Osprey 04 Foxtrot after Slugo direct of VATSIM.
After Slugo, direct to Avaki for Osprey 04.
Yeah, there's no star for today.
Osprey 4990, descend on maintain.
As we discussed earlier, Slugo straight to Avaki.
Okay, descend 2600 QNH.
Runway 10. We want 5 miles. And we'll have 10. Actually, where is on the charts Avaki? Avaki's at 10 miles. Then we can do runway heading of 095. We can extend that centre line. The back course of that to extend it even further in our direction would be 276.
2600 or 2100?
2600.
That's 26.
Oops. We'll just leave that for now. So there we go, we can see that we've extended that centre line. .276 to extend it in the other direction. Oh my god, I've done it again. 276 slash. There we go. We draw a big old extended centre line. It's going to help us with the visual element. Are the Canary Islands airport add-ons by Aerosoft and Singwings worth getting? They are pricey. They are quite nice though. Rabs on the Aluba 1 arrival. So not too far now to top of descent. We've got all the weather. We can reset the MCP altitude down to flight level 110. That's another option as well. Worth pointing out, Hergy saying that MK Studios have done a little Tenerife pack. You get North and South airports. Bit lower quality, but better value for money. .12 knot crosswind for us now. We've been asked to maintain max 77, haven't we, which is 260 knots. So if I change that,
Skyhawk 274, when is your stop for descent?
it's just about now, Skyhawk 274. That's interesting. So there was an issue there with the nav data because we were being held to max 77. The top of descent was a lot further ahead. Let's see where this puts us. Just chasing the speed again at the moment. Good route, Dan. Edinburgh to Heathrow, really nice Pyre Debco scenery. They made a fantastic Belfast Old Grove as well. We did do the descent forecast page, Brian, yeah. I think what it was doing is it was counting on the fact that we were going to be descending at a higher speed, therefore it could descend slightly faster. That nose would be down, engine's idle, that sort of thing. So we've then changed the speed to a lower speed on conversion, reran the numbers, and it seems to have picked it all into touch a little bit. Jacob says, what is that big screen that's right above the throttles? That one. It's the second page for things like engine parameters and the system page. Go flight detent for a little bit.
Pilot discretion, send level 130250, not to stand the air.
VATSIM, nice. Do let me know when it's finished. I'll put it on the website.
American 1843, have expected RNF approach after Slugo Derekavaki.
Expected RNF approach after Slugo Derekavaki. American 1843.
Don't know who that is. It's always inappropriate times I get called. Wi-Fi call from Manchester. Interesting. Yes, Denver and Washington Dulles. Jizeki Designs as well, make some incredible sceneries. That Washington DCA as well, beautiful sceneries. Brad says we're catching up due to your shortcut, very nice. We've had a big shortcut, to be fair. Great. The river visual as well is fantastic, interesting story, great approach. Drzeki Newark, yeah, that's a great one as well. It's just been updated, as Dan's pointing out. There are too many incredible sceneries, sadly. To try and nail down just 3 that you find are the best is really tough. Do a quick warning recall. Feels good. Altimeter we need to change. It was transition.
Back in 1945 at South Discretion, sent across Google at maintain flight level 1102109.
Could I please American 955?
American 1945 at South Discretion, sent across Google at maintain flight level 1102109.
My discretion Centrum flight level 110 and to
at Lugo, flight level 1102109.
We'll go for flight level 70 there.
Flight level 110. Thank you, Max.
Yeah, it's pretty rubbish.
Number 2 cleared for RNAV
22,000, let's check the cabin pressurization. Looking good, let's get the seatbelt signs on. That's set, that's set. Crazy, isn't it, Rab? Does make you wish you were going abroad somewhere. Doc, yeah, you can. You get it all through Orbex. Jizeki Design. Mark, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing to the channel.
Clear to land, runway 10, Osprey 490.
Yeah, I don't know. Haven't been on their Mako Simulations Discord for a little while, but we were having that conversation earlier as well. Someone else was asking if they're even still actively developing sceneries or not. I'm not sure, to be honest. Calvin saying another great payware scenery is Siam Flight's Bangkok. Just don't fly in that area often enough. I'm the same actually. I don't think I've got that scenery either.
San Juan Center, November 2.7 Mike Bravo, over at TJSJ. How do you hear us?
325.
Copy. Can we switch to voice? We got our mics working.
Roger.
It is, but you have a great time throwing the money into the sim though, Mark, right? You can never spend enough on Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's the problem. It's kind of like it's the old saying, you're going into the rabbit hole. Yeah, Hergy, I guess that's kind of one of the things, isn't it? It's a great scenery, but like you're saying, it's kind of just been left a little bit unfinished, which is a shame. $320 gig of scenery, Kevin. My goodness. I wouldn't even want to know what my my scenery's file sizes are, to be fair. I think we just about nailed that descent. Dogtag Gamer lives in Phoenix.
274 departs Lugo heading 170 vector for the R9
Depart Slugo heading 170 degrees, expect vectors RNAV 10, Skyhawk 274. Yeah, 100% Dan, they are fantastic for what they do. I got interrupted anyway. I've got to deal with the controller. If he speaks, that's more important, obviously. Making sure I say the right thing at the right time and reply accurately and do as he's asking. Dogtag Gamer was saying he lives in Phoenix, Arizona, so I mostly fly West Coast routes, ready for Phoenix and San Fran to come out for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They would be great. They're much needed.
Welcome on board.
Oh, Chris. So you still haven't been to Fiji then?
Osprey 490, requesting backtrack.
Osprey 490, backtrack from runway 10, vacate at Echo, taxi to parking.
Dogtag Gamer, this is where the add-on linker really comes in handy, so you can turn sceneries on and off. Berman saying, have you ever had a problem where you stood still on other people's screens whilst moving on your own on VATSIM? No, I haven't actually, I don't think.
American 1843, have a descent maintains 2600 QNH 1021.
Descent 6000 QNH 1021.
Innsbruck was cool. In fact, Gaia Simulation are creating a new Innsbruck, aren't they? Is it Gaia that are making a new Innsbruck scenery? And it looks awesome. Looks really good.
247 Mike Bravo, heavy runway 8 for the takeoff. Runway 247 Mike Bravo, heavy runway 8 for the takeoff.
Kevin's home Port Tampa from Vertical Sim is coming out in the next few weeks. The previews are really good. I can't wait. That's going to be cool. It's going to be a great scenery. Nice to see a bit more going on for American sceneries as well. Some great airports too coming out. Dog Game, I've been following the channel. Love the channel and the stuff. Great to hear. Thank you very much. It's great to have you commenting and saying hello. Jacob, looking forward to the Bluebird 757. Absolutely.
Stanza 5 to heavy radar contact off at TCAT flight level 400.
About 15 minutes to landing now, folks. Princess Juliana is there. You can kind of see the hill actually. The terrain to the airport's just going to be underneath that cloud. El Singon in St Martin, welcome, buddy. Giving us a wave from the beach, I hope, this morning. Center maintain 5000 QNH 1021, Skyhawk 274.
Osprey 804 Foxtrot 1100 at 90 knots, present on runway 10.
Chevrolet runway 10, Osprey 804 Foxtrot.
Rab's got the airport in sight. Mark, so forth, Ball. Edinburgh, Manchester, Bristol, Birmingham, Gatwick, Heathrow, Tenerife, Luton, Blackbush, Shoreham, Popham. Nice. And we're in Liege in a stream.
American 1843 heavy clear for the RNAV runway 10 number 2.
Clear for the RNAV, runway 10, number 2, American 1843.
Oh, Brian, very exciting. Not for the person involved, but for everyone else watching. Fast strobes, lights and signs. We're going to drop below 10. Lanzarote, Mark, thank you, sorry. I always get those ones confused. Let's arm the speed brake for now. We go 1500 feet per minute. I'd rather get down early because that's Avakia 2600.
Skyhawk 274, confirm you're on heading 170.
Bollocks. Apologies, turning 170 degrees now, Skyhawk 274. Damn it. Knew I got sidetracked and missed something. Tasos, welcome. Thanks for subscribing to the channel.
Clipper 423 heavy departs, Lugo heading 180 vector for the RNAV run.
Departs Lugo heading 180, Clipper 423.
Next vectors for the RNAV runway 10.
Vector vectors for the RNAV runway 10, Clipper 423.
Jay, you're using a 2070 Super. Standard pressure QNH 1021. Let's change now. I'm going to bring that rate of descent down a bit more as well. Try and counter that against the use of speed brake. And then I'm going to get ahead of the aeroplane, pop the ignition modes on continuous.
Hello to backtrack runway 10, vacated Echo, and text departing Osprey 04 Foxtrot.
Down to 5,000 is where we're cleared. There's Princess Juliana.
Skyhawk 274, descend and maintain 3000.
So maintain 3000, Skyhawk 274. I'm going to go flaps 2.
Osprey 34, Foxtrot, vacated at Echo.
Back to the parking, good day.
$25 miles to the airport.
San Juan Center, November 247 Mike Bravo, request level up at flight level 210 for final.
Runway 247 Mike Bravo, heavy maintain flight level 210.
Maintain flight level 210.
We get on final. I need you guys to pop in the chat your estimation for our landing rate for today as well. Oh yeah, we got San Juan radar. For dog tags asking there, is anyone actually controlling TNCM? San Juan radar's online, which is really cool. Thank you to whoever they are. I can just increase the speed, tickle it up to 190.
1843 heavy, speed 180 until 5 DME.
180 until 5 DME, American 1537.
That's Sato.
274, proceed direct Avaki, front Avaki, 2600, cleared RNAV running 10.
Direct Avaki, pass Avaki 2600, cleared RNAV, runway 10, Skyhawk 274.
Clipper 423 heavy, reduce speed 200 knots, then descend and maintain flight level 70.
Okay,
200, then
feet on the rudder pedals. You guys want to see our controls as well when we take over. We're going to go one more warning. Make sure that is reset in arms, 180. Flaps 10 for now as well. It's going to tickle that VNE right down to 210 knots. 26, 125 is on the heading to Avaki.
Skyhawk 274, speed 180.
Speed 180, Skyhawk 274.
Clipper 423 heavy, flying 120.
Heading 120, Clipper 423 heavy.
Osprey 784 departs, local and further heading vectors for the RNAV running 10. Osprey 784 departs, local and present heading vector for the RNAV running 10. Sorry, Osprey 784.
Who's that? Oh, he's on text. Voice is a lot easier on VATSIM, so if you are looking at a way to get into VATSIM and get used to it, then it's a really good way of just diving in, going straight away into something like voice only instead of text. It removes a lot of the stress of trying to quickly type whilst flying a complex aircraft like this. You can quickly then type out, you don't need to type out your message back to the controller. You can just press the transmit button on your yoke or whatever you're using and talk back as you're doing everything else. 2600 level.
Dominican 2230 depart Dandy heading 050 vector for the RNAV remains.
Dandy heading 050, departed
14 knot headwinds, a couple of ships in the harbour as Rab mentioned as well. I set 700.
Osprey 78471.
It's nice, it's got the Osprey camera gear set up after landing. Pictures will be in the screenshot channel of our touchdown today. Over in Discord. Ricky's World, nice. In the sim or in real life?
Airport 423 Heavy Flighting 220.
AJ Finani saying, I have to say this is probably one of the more beautiful approaches in real life, probably because it means you're in for a week of sun and fun.
Clipper 423, correction.
It's American 1843. We have jam brakes. We're going to disconnect here. My apologies.
No problem. Have a good day. Break Osprey 784. Trying to call you earlier. VG5, sir. Fly present heading vector for the RNAV runway 10.
Fly present heading. Expect vector for the RNAV 10. Osprey 784.
So what's our ground speed? 173. That's going to give us 900 foot per minute rate of descent.
Skyhawk 274, speed 180 until 5. The wind is 100 at 9 knots per runway.
2500.
Speed 180 till 5 was that for Skyhawk 274.
Hey, firm and clear to land runway 10. The wind is 100 at 9.
Okay, 180 till 5, cleared land 10, Skyhawk 274.
Clipper 423 heavy.
This is going to be interesting.
5000 QNH 1021.
1,700 lessor.
5000 Clipper 423.
I go for 950 feet per minute. Let's go gear down now. 2.5, so 10.
80 American 1843, we
8 miles.
braking problem. We're going to taxi to the gate.
American 1843 heavy, roger. Stand up your choice.
Right, let's get all the controls off and let's hand fly this in, shall we?
No problem. Dominican 2230, descend and maintain 5000 QNH 1021.
Little bit of change of pitch.
Level 70.
Because
descend and maintain flight level 70.
we're descending a bit too quickly there.
American 1945, flight
We're on flat 15.
for the RNAV runway 10.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it, Doc? Let's wind this to 4.
Clipper 423 heavy, reduce speed 190.
Speed 190, Clipper 423 heavy.
130. 135, final approach.
Osprey 794, turn right heading 240.
Turn right heading 240.
Right, that's going to help a little bit. There's a lot to do in this. Overhead panel and everything's done. Landing gear's down 3 green. One more stage of flaps. Begin to slow the airplane right down now. As Doc has said, we've got a short window to slow the aircraft down a bit. It's given us a bit of work to do. 2.5 miles to touchdown. One more stage of flap, flap 30, bring it to 135. And gear is good, flap screen, speed brake is armed. A little bit more power to just intercept that rate of descent. And we're nice and stable, we will continue for now. Very variable weather, look at that crosswind switch left to right, it's making it quite bumpy. So now we've got a crosswind right to left, 15 knots. 2 red, 2 white, happy with that. A little bit more power, it's gone into a headwind.
Dominican 2230, fly heading 070.
Heading 070,
This is very variable weather.
American 1945, descend and maintain flight level 70.
Over the beach. Starting to throw my vision to the end of the runway now for depth perception. Really important.
423 heavy flight heading 110, enable direct Avaki.
30.
Heading 110, enable direct
Idle.
Avaki, Clipper 423 heavy.
Osprey 784,
Touchdown zone.
flight heading 200. Descend and maintain 5,000, Q1H1.
Gears down. Lots of gump in the way. Reverse green. People trying to call me when I'm touching down.
Confirm the flight level again, please.
Osprey 784, flight heading 200.
And I reckon we can make this work here. That would be very helpful to the next pilot in.
200, descend and maintain 5,000, QNH 1021, Osprey 784.
Dominican 2230, reduce speed 200 knots.
200, nothing.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
That wasn't for you, it was for Dominican 2230, speed 200 knots.
Dominican 2230, speed 200 knots.
Skyhawk 274, backtrack runway 10, vacate at Echo, taxi departure.
We'll go backtrack 10, vacate Echo, taxi to parking, Skyhawk 274, thanks.
Super 423, heavy cross the vacuum 2600, clear for the R9 runway 10, speed
Look at
190.
that, see some osprey tails, looking good.
190 to advise, clear for RNAV 10, clear for the approach.
Game of us only 6 feet per minute off, good effort.
423, heavy cross the vacuum 2600.
Vaki at 2600, Clipper 423.
Foxtrot, is this one? It's not for us.
At 5,000 feet, reduce speed 190.
At 5,000, reduce speed 190, Osprey 784.
Aircraft on short final.
JetBlue 909, descent across logo and maintain flight level 110. JetBlue 909, descent across logo and maintain flight level 110.
There we are, let's get the POS lights to strobe and steady. Runway turn off lights on.
Comet 53 in Aguadilla.
APU's almost ready. Now we've got to work out how to get to the actual gates. Need to start QATL.
JetBlue 909.
JetBlue 909, descent across Lugo at flight level 110.
Cross Lugo 110, JetBlue 909.
American 1945, flight heading 230, speed 200 knots.
200 knots and heading 230.
Change power across, and what stand is that? Alpha 2.
270, speed 190.
270, speed 190, depending on 2230.
Summit tree, San Juan Center. What is your
Dan, this is the Fault Sobo. In the 40th anniversary update, they remodeled it.
Looking for IFR to San Juan.
Summit 53, cleared to the San Juan airport by a radar vector.
Cool, that's all that done. We can pop that off.
5,000,
Pop that on.
Squawk 4323.
Taxi lights off. Parking at gate Alpha 2. Somebody's just spawned on the Osprey.
Osprey 784, turn left heading 110, enable direct Avaki.
Turn left 110, enable direct Avaki, Osprey 784.
I don't think Menzies operate here.
Is correct, Alpha taxi, expect runway 8. Aquadilla altimeter is 3015.
3015 and ready for taxi 08 Comet 53.
Brakes.
53, runway 8, taxi
Set.
by Alpha.
APU's good, let's do that. Post flight on blocks, turn that off. Anti-collision lights can come off.
Osprey 784, cross Avaki 2600.
And request deboarding.
Maintain 180 knots until advised.
Set the wheel chocks as well.
Savaki 2600, maintain 180 knots
hello.
until advised, Osprey 784.
American 1945, descend and maintain 5,000, Q1 2021.
Look at that for timing. Oh. European cargo.
Number 423 Heavy, speed 180.5.
Speed 180.5, 423 Heavy.
Right, how many have we got left to go? That was firm. But the thing is, it's a big heavy aircraft, so you need firm over accurate. Firm and accurate over smooth and buttery, and yeah, floating and things. That's some weird animation going on there.
Passengers, the boarding started.
Number 247 Mike Bravo, fly present heading, reduce speed 20.
Log tag, it's on FlyUK's website, so flyuk.aero. It's a virtual airline, and it's their new US division.
247 Bravo, fly present heading, reduce speed 2009.
Cool, isn't it? There's our good old Osprey Airways, folks.
2230, fly heading 020.
Andy, that's pretty cool.
Heading 020 to make safety planning.
Over 247 Mike Bravo, tunnel.
How many more have we got in then?
Over 247 Bravo, fly present heading, speed 200 knots, vector for the R9 runway 10.
Alright, copy, present heading, speed 200 knots, and expect the R9.
As it's getting sent right around the houses.
Dominic 2230, descend and maintain 4000.
The controller's doing an incredible job for what is a lot of traffic all flying into the same place. Let's go to the drone camera.
Number 423 Heavy, wind is 100, 90 knots, present runway 10.
Clear to land, Tipper 423 Heavy.
And let's see if I've set this up enough. We'll get that beach view, shall we, folks? Yeah, Brian, this is default. Look at that. It's in the new 40th anniversary update for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the update we enjoyed in November. They remodeled Princess Juliana. Like the old days. Beautiful, isn't it? Completely free. Default Sobo scenery. Great job. The only thing it doesn't have, of course, is people on the beach. But it has got the little Corona pub and stuff here.
As 52 Heavy, you should be descending to 16,000. So descend and maintain 16,000.
Now we've got to wait for touchdown. I can quite imagine it almost did.
Curvin 458, did you contact us just now?
And negative. Lufthansa 52 Heavy, stand by.
I don't know where that aircraft is. We've got quite a few on final. We're trying to work out how many we've actually got on the arrivals here into San Juan. We got PAA 423,
American 1945,
Osprey 784, EWA 2230, American 1945.
Before you disconnected, so I'm just going to wait to see if he comes back online.
Can you repeat for American 1945?
American 1945, flight heading 180. There was an aircraft south of the airport that I was going to get in before you. He disconnected, so I'm going to wait a bit to see if he comes back online.
Okay.
Not sure. Here comes an A310.
San Juan Tower, November 356.
Oh, Hazard says I'm fuming. I opened OBS and it crashed my entire PC. That's not good.
Lock to break, November 247, Mike Bravo, 10 right heading 220.
Right 220, 247, Mike Bravo.
American 1945, turn left heading 110, direct Avaki, unable.
Unable, direct Avaki and left heading 110.
Oh, it's in a Sobo blob.
Osprey 784, speed 180 until 5.
Speed 180 until 5, Osprey 784.
There we go, a little bit above the fence. Well, should we go? We'll keep it on the fence, shall we? Means you have to actually look through it. Like plane spotting for real. Got Don Carlito next. MDPC, there we go, yeah, Punta Cana.
San Juan, Comet 53, ready to roll for 08, holding short on Alpha.
Comet 53. Fly runway heading runway 8 at Bravo. The wind is 070 at 13, altimeter 3014, close takeoff.
Good takeoff for Con 53, runway heading.
American 1945 across the Rocky at 2,600, cleared for the RNAV runway 10, speed 190 on third line.
Speed 190 and at Kawasaki, flight level 2,600 feet. Can I spoke?
Clipper 423 Heavy, taxi to parking today.
Taxi to parking, Clipper 423 Heavy, thanks for ATC, bye-bye.
Bye. November 247 Mike Bravo.
By the way, does anybody have here the ability or knowledge of creating an animation like a safety demonstration or that sort of thing? If you do, contact me, because I need a bit of help trying to create a safety demonstration for Osprey, which we've been trying to do for a long time. I can do all the voiceovers, I can script something up, I just need some help with someone who can make the animations, really. It says there's a cocktail bar on the beach that display the flight numbers, really nice. Rab's asking, do you have cruise ship in the harbour? Yeah, I think we did.
Osprey 784, wind 100 at 9 knots, runway 10, question line.
We've got a number of boats and things as well.
American 41 Alpha, were you calling me earlier?
Can't see precisely, but let's get that view reset.
American 41 Alpha, send 1, were you calling me earlier?
I mean, we could even create some scenes. So I know the Night Shepherds was on about going to create a few. Hazza said if you write a brief for it, I'd have a go. Commentator saying he could make a few things in After Effects. We could make a couple of things in, yeah, we could. So each person could make a scene, and we could then like stitch it together into one big safety demonstration. That could be quite cool.
Affirmative, we can do 360.
A proper community-wide made job. Kari, no, it looked good. Great livery. Old version Atlantic A340. It'd basically be similar to what British Airways have got with the old version of the safety demonstration has that sort of thing. Animations of an aeroplane, pilots, life raft, slides, that sort of thing.
November 247 Mike Bravo, direct Avaki.
Here he comes, Osprey, Don Carlito. Osprey 784, who's on text only. Jack, this is what unsafe looks like.
Juliana. I'm sorry, direct San Juan.
To be fair, we could probably film elements of it inside the sim, couldn't we? Like a ditching, and then we could, so we could film a 737 floating in the water, and then I don't know how After Effects works, or commentator about After Effects. I don't know how it works, but could you then put in floating life rafts and slide deployments, or like somebody floating with a life vest? I don't know. Here we go. 737 Osprey Airways. I'm going to do that.
Number 247 Mike Bravo Heavy, cross the Alaska 2,600.
Oh my god, it's got stuck.
Speed 180 on third 5.
Just beautiful touchdown. Just about managed to get that camera view back. It locked my computer taking a screenshot.
W9009 departs local heading 180 vector for the RNAV runway 10.
Mark, I'll leave you to do the voiceover for that one. Hazza, absolutely. Dan, yeah, that's what I'm hoping to try and create. So I'm trying to create a safety demonstration. I know landing rate monitor, for example, you can export or import a pack. So you can have a safety demonstration, cabin announcements, all that sort of thing. Boarding music in landing rate monitor. And we could perhaps then export it for PAC-X as well, maybe.
Requesting backtrack.
Osprey 784, backtrack 1810, vacate at Echo, attack departure.
Vacate at Echo.
Looking pretty full, isn't it? Jack, I like it. I think that should definitely be a line inside the script for the safety demonstration. Quickly neck the gin to rinse you of the sins. Rab, yeah, only VATSIM aircraft show for me. If you're flying on VATSIM, you should turn all of the other stuff off, all of the other features. So like AI aircraft and all that sort of stuff that aren't fed into VATSIM itself, everything else should be turned off. Game Reverse, we don't have landing replay today, no, because we've got so many pilots flying in. Instead of watching me land again, I like to watch everyone else land. Everyone who's flown along today. We haven't done replay for a little while though, to be fair. So this next aircraft is Jacara, American 1945.
W909er, descend and maintain 5,000, QNH 1021.
Descend 5,000 and QNH 1021, JetBlue 909.
American 19.
JetBlue 909 is the last aircraft in the pack, I believe. My goodness, Vilnius. That was utter chaos, wasn't it? I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. That Vilnius stream was just next level. I was, yo, how that didn't end up on Flight Sim Bests, I do not know. Hazza, sure. Drop me a little DM on Discord, so I can get some stuff sent over to you.
W909er, direct Avaki, cross Avaki 2,600, clear our nav runway 10.
Direct Avaki, cross Avaki 2,600, clear direct, RNAV 10, JetBlue 909.
Number 247 Mike Bravo Heavy, reduce the final approach speed.
Final approach speed, 247 Mike Bravo.
Ooh, old school. American, Piedmont, Air Cow, Retrojet. Epic. Peter's been dot walloped. Oh dear. Are you responding to ATC, Peter, or have you got a flight plan filed and that sort of stuff, or?
Southwest Center, good morning. American 2219, information Bravo, clearance to Miami.
What are you flying as?
2219, Center, clear to the Miami Airport via St. Martin VOR, flight en route, climb and maintain flight level 150, squawk 6676.
American 2219,
Nordic 2.
St. Martin VOR, flight plan route.
I haven't heard you on that on the network as Nordic 2. Or are you using text only?
2219, that is correct. Call for push, information Charlie is not correct.
Oh yeah, I can see you on there. I can see you on there, Mach 76 and that sort of thing.
Information Charlie now current at Juliana, wind 090.
Oh, it's because he was saying descend, maintain flight level 70. Present heading vectors RNAV 10, and then you haven't replied. So I think he's, well, yeah. This is where text only can be actually quite difficult, because you can be a little bit overwhelmed trying to fly the aeroplane you're handling, but then struggle to actually respond in time, and then a controller could dot wallop you in haste.
November 3560, push that approved at west. Actually, sorry. You know what, November 3560, push that approved facing west.
Push that approved facing west, number 3560.
November 247, Mike Bravo Heavy, quick land, runway 10.
Clear for land, runway 10. Mike Bravo.
Runway 53,
he looks low.
Some of their 3012. American 41 Heavy, can you speak louder into your microphone? It's quite low.
Fritz, another crash to desktop. That's not good. What happened? Are you just sitting there watching it?
That's a little bit better. What's your request? American 41 Alpha, clear to the
777.
Actually, for directional flight, even level is required. I can give you
2 more landings, I think, Joey Goofy. What have we got? Let's have a little look. We got 777. Para 999. Oh, that's JetBlue 909.
American 41 Alpha, for directional flight, even level is required. I can give you flight level.
Hey, is that United 1626 on the network? Maybe it's the 777 if you've got a model matching issue, Fritz.
No,
maybe it rendered in and it's gone doink. Don't like it. I mean, interestingly, I've just got a white plain 777. My God, the noise. This is why it's great to do a bit of plane spotting and watch you guys all try and land as well after I've flown in. It's great fun. PMDG 777 coming at some point this in the middle of the year this year. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be fantastic. And look how busy Princess Juliana is.
Okay, for 1 Alpha, that is correct. Call for push. Expect runway 10, information Charlie. Remember 247, my Bravo Hotel, that's the parking today.
San Juan Center, column 53, just past Boca waypoint, 5,000 feet, estimating San Juan in 12 minutes.
That's Delta, wasn't it?
Summit 53, Roger. 80 Bravo is current. Let me know when you have it. See a push time.
I'll be looking for the VOR actually today for column 53 onto 08.
Roger. You can expect that.
I can't see who that is. Can't see them on a map anywhere.
American 2219, ready for pushback and startup.
American 2219, push on to Charlie base west.
Pushing on to Charlie facing west, American 2219.
He's definitely not on VATSIM. United 1629. So we got JetBlue 909 is the last one in. Alright, Joey came to a screeching halt, didn't he? Okay, there he is. He's on final now, about 10 miles. Right in the middle of the screen, just a tiny set of lights.
JetBlue 909er, wind 09 is at 10 knots, clear to land, runway 10.
Clear to land 10, JetBlue 909.
Last one in. Saturday, we spoke about it before. Saturday we're going to be flying Osprey Airways, our channel's airline. We're going to be heading out of London Heathrow Airport, probably in the PMDG 737-800 to be fair, trusty 73. We're going to be off to Amsterdam for the Amsterdam Overload event, one of Amsterdam's biggest VATSIM events. Tons of ATC coverage, full ATC coverage in fact, and that's going to be good. So we're going to fly into the chaos of the event and then turn around and fly back out again, having completed a turnaround on stand at Amsterdam. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that and watch the controllers work to their absolute limits as well, and throw our name into the hat too. Commentator this Saturday. So what is it today? Thursday. Yeah, so in 2 days. Saturday the 21st of January at 1 o'clock UK time, 1300 UTC. Although I might bring it forward to 1200 UTC because I'm conscious there are a lot of people in Australia and New Zealand that like to fly along as well. Let's see. What's the VATSIM events? Just logging in very quickly to the VATSIM website to check the timings of the event.
San Juan Center, Tango Yankee 1 at apron 4 of Luis Munoz Airport.
Starts at 12Z. So I reckon we start the stream at 12 Zulu.
Tango Yankee 1, San Juan Center, you need to file a flight plan break, comic 53, depend on maintain 3000.
We fly Heathrow to Amsterdam. And then do we fly back to Heathrow? Or do we fly to Gatwick? I reckon we fly back into Heathrow over London. That'd be quite nice. Yes, on Saturday, 21st of January, the Dutch VAC present their Amsterdam Overload at Amsterdam Schiphol. They'll be online between 12 and 9 UTC, so 12 and 2100 UTC, covering basically full ATC throughout. There's a briefing document on the VATSIM events page for the particular event. Yeah, it's the only thing, commentator. It is pretty rubbish. Joey, Osprey. Oh, is he going around? Where's he going? That's an unstable go around, surely. Who knows? Maybe he's gonna go all Vilnius on us. You'd be running if you're on the beach now. You'd be like, ah! Oh, he's gone. I reckon he's gonna just try and get down anyway. That'd have been great to watch. That's a shame. I was looking forward to watching that. I like rate my landing. Oh well.
100 for comfort.
He tried it. It looked like he was recovering it quite nicely. Here we go. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's flight out of Miami into the wonderful Asobo handcrafted Princess Juliana International in Microsoft Flight Simulator with the new FlyUK's US Division CETAN. Thank you to our controller at San Juan Center for giving us some ATC, some beautiful views here at Princess Juliana. It's an airport that we don't really fly to enough actually. It's an absolutely spectacular airport. But look at that.
climb and maintain 5,000. Expect actually maintain 5,000.
Welcome to our 2 new channel members. Thank you to all of our bronze, silver, gold frequent flyers and all of our subscribers, everyone who's tuned in today, and those of you who have smashed the like button as well as those of you who have flown along too. I hope you've enjoyed the route. Join us Saturday, as we mentioned, Amsterdam Overload, Osprey Airways, London Heathrow to Amsterdam and back again. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Enjoy what's left of the week as well, and I'll see you guys on Saturday between either 12 or 1300 UTC. Check it out on our Discord server. All the links will be there, and you guys will get the exact times of that stream on Saturday. In the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the stay in St. Maarten, and I'll see you Saturday. Take care.
3314 for